places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? Well, there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you should find you miss the sweet and tender love we used to share, just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? And there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you? And then there's always something there to remind me. Always something there.
Tickets as low as 130 TOG. You might also like Paranoid and Aroused, Korn, Down Bad, Taylor Swift, The Alchemy, Taylor Swift.
Give me a reason, 'cause I got nothing to gain. So what are we doing now? Feeling complacent, I cannot be contained. I'm so lost and lonely now. I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I'd give my life, not for honor, but for you. Snake eater, in my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. Snake eater, I'm still in a dream. Snake eater. Someday you go through the rain. Someday you feed on a tree fall. This ordeal, the trial to survive, for the day we see new light. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. Snake eater, in my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. Snake eater, I'm still in a dream. Snake eater, I'm still in a dream. Snake eater. Snake eater. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. Snake eater, in my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. Snake eater, I'm still in a dream. Snake eater, I'm still in a dream. Snake eater. Snake eater. I see a red coat and I want it painted black. No colors anymore, I want them to turn back. I see the girls walk by dressed in their summer clothes. I have to turn my head until my doctor knows. I see a line of cars and they're all painted black, with flowers and my love both never to come back. I see people turn their heads and quickly look away. when it rains. I feel good when things are going wrong. I only listen to the sad, sad songs. I'm only happy when it rains. I only smile in the dark. My only comfort is the night gone black. I didn't accidentally tell you that. I'm only happy when it rains. You'll get the message by the time I'm through. When I complain about me and you, I'm only happy when it rains. Pour your misery down, pour your misery down, pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down, pour your misery down, pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down, pour your misery down, pour your misery down on me. Pour your misery down. You can keep me company as long as you don't care. I'm only happy when it rains. You wanna hear about my new obsession? I'm riding high upon a deep depression. I'm only happy when it rains. Pour some misery down on me. I'm only happy when it rains. 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 Pour some misery down on me. Pour some misery down on me. Pour some misery down on me. I'm only happy when it rains down on me. Pour your misery down on me. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, the old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in the end. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I will let you down, I will make you hurt. I wear this crown of spit upon my liar's chair, full of broken thoughts I cannot repair. Beneath the stains of time, hush now, don't you cry. Wipe away the teardrop from your
Welcome, my friends, to XboxEra. If you're new here, let me fill you in. XboxEra is a platform for the Xbox community with best-in-class forums, a kick-ass Discord server, and of course, XboxEra.com, your destination for the best news, reviews, and features, all focused on your favourite platform, Xbox. It's every Xbox fan's gateway to the best of XboxEra. Our incredible podcasts listened to in over 50 countries worldwide, our in-depth reviews, our own merch store for the coolest in gaming threads, and of course Day One, where you can track, rate and discuss your favourite games on Xbox Game Pass. We're a small, agile and independent publication, and importantly, we're completely funded by you. If you value having a publication truly focused on your preferred place to play, you can become one of the cool kids by supporting us directly via Patreon. Just head to patreon.com/XboxEra. You get cool swag and awesome perks, and we get to keep doing what we do. Become a part of the best Xbox community on the internet and help us grow even larger. Thank you for your support. XboxEra is only made possible by the support of an amazing community, and in particular our legendary and growing army of Patreon supporters. Our executive producers, Top, The Scarecrow 121, Peter B, Not Jack, Mohammed Sherez, Kevin S, Korkenstein, Jordan White, Jordan Andau, Frankie C, Terran H, and Brit. Our amazingly generous grand benefactors who take their support and dedication to XboxEra to another level. Krat56 and Assassin. And then there's our boss, our leader, our shining light in times of darkness, the one and only XboxEra CEO, Torn Raptor. You guys are all fucking awesome. If you enjoy the content XboxEra produce and want more of it, and you're not a patron, consider heading over to patreon.com/XboxEra, pledge your support, and get cool swag in return. Hello, friends, and welcome to episode 240 of the XboxEra podcast. Everything went weird there. Jesse disappeared in mid-countdown to go.
Uh-oh. His internet's going, huh? Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 240 of the XboxEra podcast.
Yeah. Episode 240. Hi, everyone. John is gone now. Yay. I don't know what's happened.
He has an Intel CPU that...
all this time.
He's got the Intel CPU that had the over voltage issue, and his computer has been wonky and weird for quite a while. And I'm afraid he really needs to RMA it, but that means not having a computer for a bit, which is a pain in the ass. So, Nick, introduce us, please. Go read the script, unless you want me to.
Hold on. I don't need the script.
But
we're here to discuss the latest in gaming from across the industry.
Say your line. I've got it ready to show. Hey, Nick.
We're focused.
How you doing?
What?
And then you say, "Oh, God damn it! All right, I've got to add myself."
What's going on?
There, I'm going to be in here twice, just so that things fit. It is funny that I literally had this set up, and I was just going to hide the lower part and play gameplay down there if John wasn't on. So
yeah,
there. Hey, what's going on?
So let's do a short reset. What's going on? We're here to discuss the latest in gaming from across the industry, but overall, we're focused on your favorite platform, Xbox. You know what? We're independent, and what I want to do is mostly thank our patrons. So, executive producers, our grand benefactors like Krat56 and Assassin, and of course, Torn Raptor, our CEO.
Well, you know what? I would like to call out our MVPs as well. There's a group of guys there. They might not. Make sure they're always up top.
A lot of them.
So we got Sebastian P, Gary B, Hargy Charney for years, Hebs, Spartan P451, and a new one named Creed and Eve who joined immediately into the MVP tier. We would like to thank all of you. What is this message I got from John?
Yeah, I can't believe it. Like, John joined the call, I don't know,
his
10,
power
15
is
minutes
out.
early. Oh, his power is out. What are the odds of that? He joined the call before the show started, and he was fine. And all of a sudden, as soon as we're going live, shit bricks. I don't know what's happening now. So anyway, I'm gonna do my best to fucking get this mess back on track. Well, how do we normally start the show? We normally start the show just shooting the shit about what the hell we've been doing. Okay, now Jesse's going. So it looks like it's just the stream about me today, which is probably deep down what you all want, isn't it, chat? Hold on, I'm having a look. Those big storms in the UK. I didn't know there was big storms in the UK.
I don't think it came through that well, but John sent me a video. His power's out. He just sent it from his phone. I don't know if there's a way I can show it, but yeah, he's just in a he's in a dark black house.
If you had a MacBook with an iPhone, he'd still be able to do the show.
Oh, he can do it from his phone. He's just a lazy asshole. I'm kidding.
See, because the laptop would have enough battery to do the whole show. It'd be fine.
Time to make myself disappear down at the bottom. Boop, boop, boop. There we go.
What a great start to our show today, guys. How good.
Maybe eventually he'll be
Hey,
back.
that's a good idea. That's a good idea, Skedaddle. Should we get Rand on to replace him? Let's message Rand. Hold on. All right. This is a mess of a show. Let's just keep up the mess while
Not
we're
even
here.
a mess. Like, it just started and then immediately someone's internet cut out or power cut out. Thankfully, it wasn't me because that would be a mess of a show. We were very lucky.
John's power could be out for hours. Like, his power could be out for minutes or hours.
If he wanted to join by phone, he could, but he probably needs his phone battery pretty badly right now.
Yeah.
It is funny that everything went super wonky for him, but oh god damn it, that little bobble is down there. I gotta get rid of that too. I will put some gameplay down there. How's that?
Okay, do that.
God, what can I put gameplay up of?
Hi, Visceral. Hi, everyone in the chat. Sorry about the mess.
It's a very good thing that I decided to just play some Indiana Jones yesterday and not wait, because now you and I at least can talk about it. We don't have the guy who actually reviewed it.
Oh, he's back.
Hey,
he's back.
There we go. All right. Is he on his phone?
No. Is he on his phone? He is on his phone.
I am back. We've had a power cut outage here, and everything is down, including the internet. Now the power's come back on, but the internet has not yet come back on with it. So, you guys carry on tracking, and I'm just going to do some resetting and stuff, and I'll try and be back in a minute. That was literally comedic timing. Hello, everyone, and welcome to...
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Thank God it was not me, or else this stream would have already been done.
Why don't you both get a Mac?
I don't need a Mac.
Both of you get
when have we had a problem with streaming since I've had my internet back?
We've got a big storm here in the UK, and I think that's likely the culprit. But
Macs can survive storms.
Any laptop can survive a power cut. It's just if your internet goes out and you don't have redundant internet, you are still going to get cut anyways. Doesn't matter what you're using.
Use the phone hotspot.
He is.
What are you talking about? Anyway, right, I'll be back as soon as I can. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, it's fine.
Love you.
Love you too.
What a mess. What a mess. I think we should just quit. Just call it quits on this episode. What do you reckon?
No.
This is a mess.
It's a fun week. We've got lots to talk about, including the Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Marvel Rivals.
What a mess.
Some Game Awards predictions that are hopefully only predictions from Nick. We'll see.
So, that I guess, you know what? Fuck it. We'll go straight into what we've been playing.
You and I have played Marvel Rivals, so we should probably talk about that one. And we'll wait on John for...
Yeah. So we'll start on Marvel Rivals. So yes, I had played with Marvel Rivals. I had played the beta and had not issues with it, but I don't know. There was something. There was something about the game that wasn't quite clicking.
It was a little like messy because in that third person, it definitely is it's harder to read what's going on than in Overwatch.
Yes.
It's I know people really like third person, and there are times it can work great, and there are things you get to see your character all the time is the big one. And some people do have severe issues with motion sickness depending on how the field of view is.
or what platform it's on. Now, I have to say, visually, I love the look of Marvel Rivals.
Agreed.
Love the look of Marvel Rivals. It's such a nice visual style. I saw a tweet from someone. God, I can't remember who. I saw a tweet from someone saying, please make like a TV show or a cartoon using this art style. Like, please, Marvel, like, which I reckon would be amazing. But yeah, like I've played, how many matches? What do my stats say? My stats say I've played 4 or 5 matches so far because I've had a lot. Like I've been trying to squeeze in a few things to play. I don't know. I mean, I've been using Iron Man, and maybe that's my problem. Maybe the chat can tell me. Does Iron Man suck?
No, some people like him. I know. I haven't used him, but I know some people quite like him. So I'm showing the game now. I think what it is, Nick, and why Overwatch was better at launch for newbies is, and everyone's a newbie now, essentially. There were way less characters, and in a hero shooter, you need to know what the other people are doing. Oh, hey, he's back.
Yeah.
Well, shit. Now my whole putting the gameplay up. That's all gotta go.
Is he back?
He is.
I'm back. I'm
You
back.
are back.
Get rid of that.
This is working.
Here,
Everything seems to be back
Put me
to
back
life.
down. Drag me.
Man.
Drag me, baby. There we go.
There you go. You've been dragged. Sorry. Sorry about that, everyone. Comedic though it was very funny in hindsight. I was like, what did I fucking do? And then I got a message from Roman, who's next door. He's like, is there a power cut? I was like, oh, it's everything.
Yeah, we
Everything is out.
We're just talking about Marvel Rivals at the moment because that's what we've been playing, which I assume
we
you
were
haven't
saving
been
Indy
playing.
for you to come back.
I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't touched Rivals. Is it worth touching?
it's
what's
very
the vibe?
fun. So it is really good, chaotic fun. Right now, I don't think people know like a meta. I think there definitely probably will be one. There will be some balance issues because some characters definitely seem really strong. But as it is right now, it is early days Overwatch in that nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows the map. Nobody knows the meta. And so this would be the time to play.
Yeah, like my first match, so when it went live, my first match of Marvel Rivals, I don't know how, unless it was, I mean, it's not putting people in with bots, is it?
No, there's so many people playing. Like it's literally
That's
every
right.
time you click quick match, before you can finish clicking it, you're in a match.
My first match of Marvel Rivals, I used Iron Man. I got like 20 kills and 1 death. I was like, oh my God, am I good at this game? Surely not. Like, I can't be good at this game. And then, like, I had a match where I got, like, fucking, like, 1 kill and, like, 10 deaths. I'm like, okay, so I'm not good at this game.
No, there's been a lot of
one out the bag.
stomps and stuff that you run into, but also I had the same thing. I played Storm once, and I think I was like 30-1 or 30-2 or something. It was pretty
like the art
ridiculous.
style.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, it's
I
right.
Just
love
really
The art style
the way
is
it
so
looks.
good.
All
Like,
the menu
the
art.
entire yes, the entire menu, the UI, and all that sort of stuff is great. Like I'm enjoying going through, and you know, with each character they've got a bio, and you can check out their lore, and you can. It's so good the way they've set it all up, and there's so much scope for other shit for them to do.
And there's a trillion people playing right now. Like you can find a match
Yeah.
anywhere instantly.
Do you know what I think is a shame though? Actually, like I've heard some bad stuff like online. I
What?
don't know how true, but like they've got this rip off of an Overwatch character with Black Widow. I've
There-
heard that's
Oh yeah.
Oh shit.
Oh my God! I
tweet
can't
has
believe he
been
tweeted that.
deleted,
He's
so-
deleted that tweet.
Yeah, to let
was
people
real?
know. Yeah, it was real. Yes, no.
Yes.
I pointed it out immediately, and I was told by people, "Oh, he must be joking." But
No.
he never said he was
my
joking.
bro.
come on.
So let me pull up the article.
That's
here.
what someone said to me. Someone's like, I think he was being sarcastic. I'm
'Cause
like,
it
I want to
could
believe you're
read
right, dude, but I don't
sarcastic.
think he was.
But yeah, no, I really don't think he was.
Oh, dear
this
God.
will not
Like, dude,
maximize.
you know that
Alright.
Black Widow's a Marvel character that's been around forever, and she's like an
the
assassin and
1964,
stealthy.
I think she's
and,
been
like,
around.
It makes sense that she would be a sniper in this game. Like she's an assassin. Like, duh. What
Yeah.
are you talking about,
This was
bro?
the tweet. Looks like Overwatch Marvel Rival ships tomorrow, much like the Light of Motoram, a clear copy of HZD out of China. I mean, even the character name, Widowmaker in Overwatch versus Black Widow in Marvel Rivals, lol, NetEase/Tencent, all the same. He got community noted, saying Natasha Romanoff's been around since 1964.
yeah,
He never
like,
said it was a joke.
dude.
No one took it as a joke because he has said so many dumb things online.
Oh dear God.
It was like, if you want to just lose all your nerd cred to somehow have no idea who Black Widow is, would be one of the easiest ways.
People don't like. There's a reason his nickname is Yikes Embara. Because he says so much dumb shit. That is why Yikes is his nickname.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Wow.
Like, come on, man.
It was, I was shocked when I saw it because I was like, this reads like he was trying to make a joke, but also that line he said just reads serious, even though it's, and I posted a picture of LeBron James just missing a dunk because this game does wildly rip off Overwatch. Like, just, it takes, Scarlet Witch essentially has Moira powers. Like, they're just very happy to use defined power sets from Overwatch and just yoink them in here. Punisher gets a Gatling freaking thing that makes him into a Bastion.
Yeah, I know. I used that. I actually played as the Punisher once, and you just pull out this massive fucking turret thing.
He's just he's a mix of, like, you know, soldier and they're doing that type of stuff. You can make an easy joke, but he completely fumbled it. Like, it was just so bad.
I went into the store. I'm like, here we go, the store, and God. I see this Iron Man Avengers Endgame set. I'm like, boy, $50. I'm like, fuck you. I am not paying $50.
I don't think you can buy them individually, right? It's just the bundle. You got to get the whole thing.
Yeah, so it's the Iron Man skin with, like, the avatar and the banner and all that. But it was like, how many it was 2008. I want to say 2,800 Lily Jillies, whatever the money's. What are the money? What's the money called?
I remember.
It starts with L.
No, lattice.
Lilith's.
Lattice.
Lattice.
Yes.
whatever that's called, something with L. And it was like 2,800, which means I would have had to have spent about $40 or $50 to get Iron Man from Endgame. I'm like, as desperate as I am for that skin, I am not paying $50 for it. It's not going to happen.
They don't have a billion skins. I think people have data mined a lot of them, but they are definitely doing a slow release and focusing heavily on the money. Yeah.
So every character that comes out going forward is going to be free. So when Deadpool comes, he'll just be there, won't he?
Yeah, it's always they're monetizing you on the customization, not the characters, because they know.
I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of neat. Like, I think that's a good thing.
Oh,
right?
Also, their season passes never expire, which is very nice.
Also,
like Halo. They've done it like Halo. Yes.
I don't like
but
the
progression, apparently.
It's bad.
Yes.
You have to play as specific characters on specific matches in specific ways, and it sucks. And I really hope they fix it.
I really hate, like, I hate it in Halo as well, when it's like, hey, go get
the early Halo ones
weapon you don't really want to use, and it's like, or go play a mode you don't really want to play, and I'm like, no.
Well, it's like, and this is a hero shooter where I can't always be one of these three characters on this map dealing damage and healing. It's just it's so time dated.
I don't understand why designers don't see the obvious stuff that we as players just immediately are like, yo, this is dumb. I don't.
Oh, wow. Look at Storm's model.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's really good too.
Oh, wow. Yeah, she looks great.
And she's very fun to play. I do like, there's a real.
Might have to switch to Storm for a little bit.
It's early days, play as everyone to try and it helps a lot to understand them when you're fighting them too.
Is Jeff good? My name's Jeff.
Jeff is completely broken. He is so good. He's like the strongest character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jeff the Land Shark.
Oh, nice. Yeah. He's so cute. My son saw him and he was like, oh, look at the little shark. He's like, Baba, play as the shark. I'm like, I'm Iron Man, dude.
The destruction's good.
That shark.
It feels good to play. The only issue, no cross progression, so I can't jump between PC and Xbox.
Oh my God, that was so disappointing. I warned my son. So with Marvel Rivals, buddy, it's not like Fortnite where all your stuff is everywhere.
Yeah.
He goes, I said to him, I go, they might do that later, but right now, once you start somewhere, that's where you have to keep playing. So I told him, I said, get it on Xbox because that's where Baba's playing it, and that's where probably Carlos and Jason will play it. And then if they add it later, then just have Fortnite on your PlayStation and Marvel Rivals on your Xbox.
I guess that's the real question, though. Now, Nick, is this, and I guess to both of you, is this because it's Marvel, because it's Tencent? Right?
I think that's a massive part of it.
It is heavily carried by the IP. Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Is it capable of challenging the stalwarts of the industry,
No.
like Fortnite.
Well, in the short term, it is doing it.
Yeah.
In the short term, it is. The key, it's not so much about will this compete with Fortnite. It is competing with Fortnite right now. It's got like how many people are playing it right now across all 3 platforms? Probably fucking 2 million?
Yeah,
I don't know.
it is literally no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, the second you choose quick match, you're in a match.
Yeah, man. Even on Xbox, I'm getting instant matches.
Mm-hmm. Well, by
Xbox.
default, it'll
So
let you
there's
play
like-
with everyone. So it is everyone everywhere. I think you can turn off playing with
So
PC
it's
people.
cross play.
Yeah.
It's cross play, but not
it's
cross
cross
progression.
everything, but not cross progression, not cross buy.
How many do you have on a
okay.
team when you're playing?
It's 6v6.
6v6.
That's a nice number.
Yeah, and it's got your typical essential support, tank, dealer, damage dealer, but some of the damage people are also like heavily focused on support. Like Storm is constantly either making anyone around her move faster on her team or making anyone around her deal more damage. And you jump between them. Like learning how everyone works is going to take forever because they've got so
And the team ups.
many characters.
No one's using team ups at the moment. But yeah, the key is going to be not now. The key will be will it like right now Fortnite. You know, they just launched OG, and there's 1 million people just in OG. Right?
It's going to come down to what's the team size? How many people are going to keep working on this, and what ideas are they going to do the Fortnite thing of just ripping off every other game and putting Counter-Strike into their goddamn game because Fortnite has no shame? Like
This definitely needs team deathmatch. I wish it would have team deathmatch. It's frustrating that it doesn't. Because I'm just sick of objective shit. Just let me kill people.
The
or at
objective
least try
thing
to.
is generally the hero shooter. They're always objective focused, pretty much.
I know, but even Overwatch had deathmatch for a while.
But they stopped because no
Or at
one
least
used
when
it.
I played it.
No, it is funny. They were going over some of their stats on Overwatch, and like at the start of an event, like with OG Overwatch, it was like 70% or 40% of people were in it, and by the end of the event, it was down like 4%, which they said is actually a lot for us on these because people just play the normal mode all the time.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I don't like objective modes. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if it holds. I see them making a lot of money thanks to having the Marvel IP. Like, the one skin I am thinking of buying is the Superior Iron Man skin because that's a lot cheaper and still looks fucking cool as shit. But yeah, I'm gonna make I got the achievement for Iron Man, so I wouldn't mind making my way through and trying every character to get the achievement related to
really
that
liked
character.
Mantis.
So Iron Man's
was really good.
Iron Man's achievement is to get 4 kills with that super thing, the double stick super. So I got that. And now I wouldn't mind making my way through all the other characters to get their achievement. I don't know how possible that's going to be because I suck at the game, but yeah, I mean, look, I see it being a hit. It may be one of those games where long term it's not up there with COD and Fortnite and all them, but it'll carve itself out. I feel like it might at least carve itself out a pretty successful and profitable niche.
No.
Yeah.
Where, yeah, it doesn't have 500,000 players all the time, like Fortnite does. But hey, the 50 to 100,000 that it's got are spending a fuck ton of money buying Marvel skins.
And especially like when movies hit and when TV shows hit and they do collabs with it.
That's
it'll have
exactly
huge-
right. Like, imagine that. You've got the next Spider-Man coming out. So all of a sudden you put the suit in advance from the new Spider-Man and everyone just goes crazy fucking buying that skin. So
Man, the
that's where I
skins
think
just
What?
do nothing for me, man. Like it's
Oh no, I'm
must
the
be,
complete
like-
opposite to you. I'm the
Yeah.
complete. I have that sickness where I'm like, ooh, they've got the doohickey on his hand. I have to buy that one.
it's just
I can't help it.
I don't.
can't
I
help
was
it.
just literally. People were discussing in like my kind of gamer group friends WhatsApp, like discussing making the investment into the Indy DLC, like the premium upgrade, and I'm like, just wait,
Yeah.
wait. There's no harm. It's going to stick
Carlos
around.
did the same thing.
See if
Carlos
you
did
like
the
the
same
game
thing.
first on Monday. See if you like it, and then
Actually,
think about it.
Yeah.
Sunday night for me. It's global 7. I think it's the same time, like 7 p.m. on Sunday is when it launches for America on the East Coast.
But yeah, Marvel Rivals. I'm going to persist with it and find that character. I'm just devastated that Iron Man doesn't seem to be one of the better characters because I adore Iron Man so much.
I've heard he's pretty good, but he's higher difficulty, so you got to get used to him. Because a lot of people
and he's constantly flying.
Same as Storm.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm going to try all different characters and see who suits my playstyle best. I tried Black Panther. He was pretty cool-ish.
I would say it's kind of out of sight, out of mind, but also didn't seem like they had any server problems. It was kind of crazy how stable everything was for that many players.
No, not at all.
It worked perfectly for me on launch. I had zero
launch
issues.
Flawless, no errors, nothing.
Love that when it happens. It's so rare nowadays as well. Like, it's so rare.
And speaking of Fortnite competitors, I went and played. I jumped into this latest season of Fortnite, which had Godzilla in it, and
Doing
they've
the
already
gritty.
basically confirmed King Kong and a few of the other ones that I had been told about. It's a Japanese hunter season, but they've also launched OG Fortnite, so they've gone right back to the start. OG. So I'm like, oh, cool. I jumped back in. So I started playing OG Fortnite, and man, I have to admit, OG Fortnite kind of sucks.
Same
I'm like,
thing with OG for Overwatch. People always want it, and then they go back to it like, oh, they've made a lot of improvements.
I'm starting to now realize why I didn't get into Fortnite until the Marvel season, the first Marvel season. That was like Chapter 2, Season 4, which I didn't realize that was a COVID season. That was in 2020, that season. Just the map is so boring. It's just all grass and houses and like nothing else. Like if you've ever played Fortnite in the last 2 or 3 years, the maps are incredible. Like there's so much cool shit on the map now, and so many really distinct areas, and the map. One thing I've immediately noticed about this map, and I don't know if it's because of how boring and plain and flat it is, but I can't land anywhere without a bunch of fucking people landing in the same spot. I don't know what's causing that, but I'm finding that no matter where I land, people land with me. Where in the newer maps, on the more modern Fortnite, I can land in so many places where I just land by myself. And I can gear up, get myself ready, and away I go. I don't know what it is about this fucking OG map, but I cannot land anywhere. And all of a sudden I see the icons of all these other people landing with me. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And in OG, they've adjusted the TTK.
Is it smaller?
It might be, but maybe it's my imagination. And they've adjusted the TTK. I feel like you die so much faster than, even when you've got full shield and everything, you die so much faster in OG. Like at the moment, and I don't think there's bots in OG, so it is tougher and sweatier anyway because there's no bots mixed in. So right now, my OG experience is a mixture of land, die in 10 seconds, land, make the top 5. There's nothing in between for me. I'm one or the other. I'm either dying instantly or making it to the top 5. I'm like, this is fucked, man. I'm not enjoying this at all. So I'm just trying to complete the challenges. I've got one challenge left for all the OG challenges, and I'm never touching that shit again. And I'm just going to stick to the normal Japanese hunter season because it's amazing. It's one of the best seasons they've ever done. It's just incredible. And they've got these little sprites, these little cute little things. They're like chows, kind of, with hands and feet. And you can get them and they can give you shield. And you offer them to the fucking these statue things and they activate cool shit. Oh, there's just so much war. And there's this great sword. And there's bosses. There's actual full-on bosses. Now, this is part of the problem with today's brain rot in gamers, right? And just gaming in general. So anytime we get an action game, a third-person action game, what do people say?
I don't know. What do people say?
Anytime they show off a game and it's like a third-person action hack and slash game, what do they say about it?
Who is they?
Gamers and people. What do they say about it? And media. Oh, Souls-like. Oh, it's a fucking everything's a Souls-like.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Like we never had difficult action games before fucking Demon's Souls. So I saw on Twitter, oh, we have Elden Ring boss fights in Fortnite now. I'm like, do you think we did not have boss fights in video games before From and before Elden Ring? It's like, what's wrong with you people? I don't understand. How about saying something like we have Ninja Gaiden boss fights in fucking Fortnite?
Ninja Gaiden boss fights were
Or
the real deal.
Devil May Cry boss fights in Fortnite. Like, everything is from software.
There is a meme that I think goes quite well with this, and it is a guy who has only seen the Boss Baby watching his second movie. Getting a lot of Boss Baby vibes from this.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. Because there's a bunch of like PlayStation gamers that have only ever played From games. They're all like, oh yeah, this is like From. Oh, this is like Souls-like. It's like, nah, bro. Like third-person action games like existed before fucking Elden Ring and From Software games. Yeah, like Jesus Christ.
Old man shouts
Maybe I'm
at
just
Cloud.
old.
Goddamn kids!
Oh my god! Like seriously.
It's okay.
But anyway, there's these cool boss fights, and they're fucking tough in Fortnite. Although a couple of them have glitched on me, which is fantastic. Like I had this giant samurai who forgot I was there and just like walking, and I'm just like hacking him with my sword till he died. It was so good. I love glitches like that, right?
You
Don't
get
have
a
to
little
put in the work.
achievement like, oh, I've ticked that box because I've defeated that without dying horribly, or
You get there's challenges for defeating these bosses.
yeah.
Okay. And like when you kill them, they give you cool medallions that do shit and weapons and all that sort of stuff. And they've got these great masks that give you powers. Fortnite is amazing at the moment, but not OG. OG is boring as shit.
Fair.
But yes, I've been playing a bit of OG Fortnite, and we've all been playing.
I got one thing I would talk about before. I haven't been playing,
Okay.
but I did watch Secret Level, and I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, the secret level with the PlayStation ad.
Yeah, which I feel vindicated because everyone has fucking hated that finale. It's so
That
bad.
episode, yeah.
So there are 15 episodes. I did a full breakdown, spoiler-free breakdown, except for the final episode because there's nothing to spoil because nothing happens.
It's not in the spoil. It's a PlayStation ad.
So
It's an ad for PlayStation.
Secret Level is not very good. It's mostly bad with a couple of amazing. Funnily enough, some of the best episodes are for New World because it's got an Arnold Schwarzenegger
Really?
voiced Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan-like dummy character. The voice cast in the show is amazing, and they all do great jobs. Schwarzenegger voices a king who lands on this island, and the way everything works there is if you die, you come back. No one can stay dead, and it's a really good episode. They use the game's foundation just to tell a good story, and when they do that, it's very interesting. When the other ones hit, like Conquered, Conquered is just the setup for the game. It's not an interesting story.
Didn't they just use like the CG trailer from like the original trailer or some shit?
So what it is like Conquered was this whole thing about going through space travel and what the free gunners are and all that. And it's essentially just telling you that. It's just setting you up to go play Conquered. It's not an interesting story in this universe in the same way. Exodus tries to be like that's an upcoming RPG that John and I are pretty interested in because it gives some realistic-y Mass Effect vibes. And they try and use the time dilation of traveling at light speed in a very interesting way to tell a time story. It's okay. I think the narration kind of kills it because it's just a ton of exposition narration instead of showing it to you. Mega Man fucking pissed me off because it looks amazing. And it gets you for 6 minutes, the origin of Mega Man, where he's just Rock, this little assistant, and his pedophile friggin' creator is there. And all of his shit's
Allegedly.
Boy, he sure comes off like it. And all his shit's getting taken over by Dr. Wily, and it all looks awesome. And the moment he becomes Mega Man, it's over. It's 6 minutes long. Sifu is 6 minutes long of what if the entire game was just
Sifu good?
Sifu looks amazing, but it is 6 minutes long of what if the first boss fight was like the entire story of Sifu. It's just that. It's not very good. Again, it's super short. But there are good ones. Honor of Kings, a MOBA mobile title none of you have ever heard of, probably. Amazing. Just an amazing episode. Really, really interesting and good and philosophical. Space Marine 2, ridiculously good.
Oh,
Super long. So
there's a Space Marine
there's a
episode.
Warhammer 40k episode that is Marius from Space Marine 1 and 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, if you know Warhammer 40k at all, a lot better. Like my wife was like, it was cool, but I had no idea what was happening. But as someone that's played both games and knows some Warhammer, I knew a lot more, and it definitely helped.
Can I stop you there? Because
Go.
you mentioned Warhammer.
Yep.
Anyone who has Amazon Prime, you also have Twitch Prime. Right now on Twitch Prime, have you seen the games they're giving away?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. They're giving away Space Marine, the original Space Marine.
Nice.
Warhammer 40k, Baldur's Gate 1, Baldur's Gate 2, The Outer Worlds
Wow.
on GOG. These are pretty much all GOG.
Mm-hmm.
They've been giving away ridiculous games.
They're reaching into like the sack of old, really good shit.
Oh my God. But I only mentioned that because you mentioned 40k and Space Marine, so it reminded me.
Yeah.
So if just for those of us, for our amazing watchers and chatters and patrons, any of you have Amazon Prime, attach those fucking free games, man, because there's some incredible ones. But keep going, sorry.
Yeah, I was a little cheeky. I did cover. I gave the Armored Core episode, which was very cool looking, but I did not like. And I'm sure people just get mad at me because I didn't like it again with Armored Core. But I gave it the exact same score as I gave the game, and gave it a 6.5. Someone was like, "You shouldn't have scored all of these. That's unprofessional." Like, what the hell? What? Just shut up. Dungeons and Dragons was the opener. It was fine, but again, it had the same problem of just kind of being the intro to something cool. Then when the cool thing's about to happen, it's over. Unreal Tournament was pretty good, which you wouldn't think because that was never really a story game, Unreal Tournament.
No.
But it was all right. I liked that one. Pac-Man. Oh, bye, John.
Oh.
What did he do? All right, I'll put myself back up.
Oh my God.
Well, I'll say Pac-Man, one of the best. And you wouldn't think that
Really?
so Pac-Man is...
Yeah, because apparently he's like a full human or something.
That is not Pac-Man. Pac-Man, he's not the guy. I know people think that because they show it for Pac-Man. I won't spoil it at all. One of, if not the most mature. It is a treatise. Why would this creature that eats everything it sees be stuck in a maze? I'll just go like that. Super gory, super adult, goes in a way you don't think. Yeah, Pac-Man's amazing.
I'll have to watch it
that
because
one.
I've got Amazon Prime.
And the good thing is, so they're all out on the 10th. The ones I would say definitely watch would be New World, which is probably the best episode of the season. Warhammer 40k, which is right there with it. Pac-Man, Crossfire was just like what if a match of Crossfire was real life. Armored Core I didn't like. The Outer Worlds, very good. Heartfelt and funny. Mega Man Avoid. Exodus, meh. Spelunky was terrible. Conquered was bad. Honor of Kings, watch that one. But the finale, called Playtime Fulfillment, it follows this bike courier as she works doing delivery package jobs in this AR hellscape. She's got a PlayStation pin on her lapel, and the sacred symbols are everywhere in this realistic human city that looks like New York. At some point, some mysterious man comes up with a package, and from there, a MacGuffin is on her back, and she's running away from the Helldivers. And then Kratos shows up and slams the ground, and a bunch of ice shows up, and that is literally all he does. So if you've seen that in the trailer,
there for half a second.
People are like, "Oh, there's no God of War episodes." Like, no, he just is in there for about 6 or 7 seconds
It's just
total.
an ad. It's
Then
an ad for
a
PlayStation.
Colossus from Shadow of Colossus shows up for a few seconds, and then after a whole bunch of boring shit happens that no one will care about, she's falling, and while she's falling, Sackboy's just there and he giggles. And then Deus Ex Machina shit happens, and she ends up being in PlayStation Land. That's what the package was delivering her to. And all those people were actually other players just using the PlayStation avatars. And there's PlayStation ads everywhere. It was so bad and infuriating that it was like 3 days straight of me just constantly asking my wife, what the fuck was that?
So here's the thing, right? Something like what you just described, it's weird that it would be in a show like this because I don't think this show is aimed at kids. Yet that sounds like something that a kid, like a young child who is into
It was a
PlayStation
mature
would
R-rated
love.
show. This was a mature
That's right.
R-rated show the entire time until that episode. Like Spelunky might have been the only thing that was PG-13 because you see a little girl die 50 times because it's Spelunky. She's doing Spelunky runs.
Yeah, it's Spelunky.
But every other episode was like Armored Core had the F-bomb like 700 times and horrendous gore. Like every other episode was a game world and highly R-rated. Unplanned. Oh, his power's cut again and he got a message. Unplanned power cut.
Coffee.
Yeah, but every other episode, there were 14 episodes in that season that were game world stories. And then episode 15 did away with all of that for no reason other than they probably paid them to do an ad. That's all I can think.
Are we going to bring him in from his phone? Or should we not bother?
Knowing him, his phone's probably about dead. Man's not great at planning.
No, he's there. He's there.
He's there.
You know what? I'll read a super chat.
There we
That
go.
all sounds very silly.
Hi, John.
Hi.
Hi.
Read the super chat. I mean, look, it's not meant to be coming back on now. I've got a torch set up to give me a little bit of light in here. It's not meant to come back on until 1:30 in the morning. So this is just doomed. But I did want to stick around and at least talk about Indy. So read the super chat. I'll stick around.
Yes. Speaking of movie stuff, there's a super chat here. Cody Bishop, that V for Vendetta healthcare thing is crazy. I like that comparison to V for Vendetta. Man, the internet's reaction to that situation is very...
it should open some eyes in the corporate world.
polarized. Yeah.
No, it's not
Are we
polarized.
some
talking
people-
about the guy that got assassinated?
Yeah, the CEO of
Yes.
of what is United Healthcare, getting assassinated in broad daylight, and
Yeah.
it has not been polarized. It has been everyone that isn't a billionaire or super wealthy. It doesn't give a shit. They're like, yeah, you probably earned it.
I've seen a lot of people online that are like, oh, you shouldn't wish death on anyone. I'm like, but isn't this guy like almost directly responsible for the deaths of like tens of thousands of people?
Yes,
like-
no, millions. They are one of the worst. like they had a whole AI algorithm. Like, so no matter what you think, the U.S. healthcare system's not great, and it's all privatized and focused on making money. His company, chief among them, one of the worst at doing denials, and so it would appear he was assassinated by someone who had been denied because they found I think they said they found bullet shells with their whole mantra at the company about how they just always deny right off the bat because they know most
his
people don't know
company
how to
like
fight.
denies more than
It's
any
like
other claims.
Over 30% of
Like-
all claims. It's horrific.
Yeah.
And it's
Like,
gotten only worse
this
under him.
man is technically responsible for the deaths of a lot
Yes,
of
he has
just
killed many more people than the one who
sick
killed
people.
him. Most likely.
Um,
So yeah, nobody
not,
felt
maybe
bad.
not
and-
directly,
yeah.
directly, because it's not like he made the decisions on
Yeah,
an individual
he didn't
basis.
have a quiet pistol with subsonic ammo that he had to manually cycle through the chambers.
No,
on.
but
still.
he's the CEO. He guides the direction of the company. So
Mhm.
it top down.
Yeah, defend, deny, depose.
Um,
That was it. That was their mantra for
Yeah.
because most people don't know how to fight when a claim is denied. So, yeah, no one felt
Yeah,
bad, and
but-
people are shocked that like no one cares.
Yeah, I let's not say I wasn't overly upset
No.
about the situation.
Couldn't have cared less. But
but-
we found the assassin. He's right there in our chat.
Yeah, there he is. But you know what? You know what's better than the American healthcare system? Control. Man, you don't even need to spend $15,000 to fix your cold when you go to the doctor for a cold like you do in America. You just need to use our code XboxEra and go to www.drinkcontrol.com/XboxEra and just get control. That'll fix you right up.
Mhm.
It's
true.
almost as good as medicine. It's not medicine, but it's almost as good as medicine.
It's
man.
0.000000001% maybe. It's like those U.S. health commercials where they're selling some drugs, and then the last 45 seconds are all the horrific side effects you might get.
Like that
blew my
Simpsons
mind
episode.
The last time I was in the States,
Yeah, it's bad.
you're sitting there watching TV, and it's like, With this cancer drug, I can be here for my family. May cause vomiting, headaches, nausea. It's like, what the fuck?
No, the best nothing. You know when the Simpsons took that off, and Homer got that drug that's supposed to grow your hair back and be like Viagra, and then right at the end of the ad it says may result in loss of scalp or penis. What? It was one of the best things I've ever seen. But yeah,
Simpsons
control won't result in the loss of your scalp or penis. So definitely get some control. It's great.
So,
You know what else is great?
as
You
you
know what
mentioned
else is
earlier,
great?
Indiana Jones
Yep. Wait,
is
did they make an immersive sim?
Shocking.
what?
I know.
Huh?
The thing we've
My
been
God.
kind of realizing for the last year or more.
Like the reveal trailer, yes, I totally agree. The reveal trailer didn't make that clear, but pretty much everything they have shown us since that reveal trailer has made it fairly abundantly clear that it is Dishonored with an Indiana Jones skin. Like,
It's a little bit more arcadey than that, but yes.
no, I know, but the core foundation of the game is essentially Dishonored. I've played through Dishonored games. Like this is just an Indiana Jones version of it. I'm quite enjoying it. Indiana Jones. It's pretty much what I was hoping for. Not loving the inability to skip the cutscenes and being forced to just sit there and watch them.
But come on, as an Indiana Jones fan, right? You like the original movies, yeah? You're a big fan of the trilogy.
Yeah, I don't mind the old movies. I'm not like, oh my God, I love Indiana Jones. And they're
Yeah,
fine.
of course. But like, I think that what comes across, and we're going to look to do a full-on spoiler cast because the plot, which is the biggest thing I want to talk about but can't yet.
I'm not far enough in.
Is where I really want to be like, can we talk about this? Because it goes places. It is completely nuts, in the best kind of way.
It's
but I
visually
think
very nice.
visually it's great, but the cutscenes themselves feel like you're watching a movie plucked out of the 80s with the humor and Troy Baker's performance. I think it's great.
The random stutter in the cutscenes is weird.
It's on camera cuts, so every time the camera cuts, you'll get that split second of stutter.
Yeah, it's just this random stutter, and I'm like, I mean, I'd rather have it in a cutscene than gameplay.
Yeah.
The gameplay's been rock solid 60 for me so far.
And I was wrong.
This is,
You know what I said?
What?
It does require ray tracing. There is only ray trace lighting in this game. There is no other option. So you must have a 20 series or newer NVIDIA card on PC, and you must have, I think it's like 50 or 60 series on AMD side. But it also has that on Series S, which is crazy.
Rayoid. Spoil the cutscenes, Nick. There's nothing to spoil, dude. I haven't been paying attention. I don't know what the game's about.
IGN did immediately say what the opening part of the game is in their tweets.
That was cool.
Yeah,
I saw people bagging that. I saw people on Twitter that were like, "Oh God, they just let you recreate Temple of Doom." I'm like, I thought that was great.
That was the wrong movie.
They did that. Temple of Doom. Oh, Raiders. Sorry.
You know what's funny? I was
Raiders.
watching Easy Allies, and they seemed to have no idea that you were doing essentially a 1-to-1 thing. It was very confusing. I guess there might be people who just haven't seen the movie in a while and just forgot what it was.
I haven't seen
yeah.
Temple Raiders for like donkeys. I haven't seen the old ones for a long time, including Last Crusade. But this game has arguably, between this game and Alien Isolation, the best implementation of chromatic aberration I've ever seen. Unbelievable how well they've done it.
And I saw in John Linneman's video, he turned that and everything off, and I'm like, no, it looks really good in this one.
I turned off the motion blur because the motion blur was actually hurting my eyes. I don't know what they've done with the motion blur in this, but it was hurting my eyes, so I had to turn it off. But the chromatic aberration and film grain is, oh my God, it is so good.
It looks fantastic.
Yeah,
I mean, they
Indy's model's great.
A AAA 60 FPS, fully like ray traced illumination on console with id Tech and it's actually an id Tech offshoot. It's now called Motor.
Yes.
Which is super cool.
It's like a fork.
Yeah, because they need
id Tech.
their own things compared to what a Doom game is going to need. So it makes sense. It's like the Void engine on Arcane, because Arcane's games just need very different things than a Doom game needs.
But it looks like this engine can work with Arcane's games too, if Indy's any indicator.
Maybe, but I mean, they already have their own version, so who knows?
But honestly, machine games have cooked. They've cooked in a way.
Yeah, it's a great game so far.
I was so delighted, and like it was close as well. Like, to full disclosure, as I mentioned in the review, there are bugs. Like, even now at the end, I've got puzzles that I can't solve, which is extremely irritating. Like, as I wanted to go in 100% every area.
There's
Me
still,
too.
there is still
collected
no day
books.
one patch. So the day one patch will hit tomorrow at 7.
Oh, while you mention that, so I'm trying to do that too. So one of the quests I'm on at the moment, because I'm still early in the game, is finding the relics. I've got to find the relics around the Vatican. One of the relics is at the start of that point where you fall into the underworld, into the water. But once you go forward, you can't go back to... Can I get back to the start of that part?
So with the relics, small spoiler, I did tease it in my review. When the game is done, there is a room at the very end that you can go to and put all the relics in a wall, and they unlock one final puzzle. And there are something like 20 odd relics per big level hidden around. There are 3 keys hidden in the Vatican level, the Giza level, and in the Shanghai level that also unlock a thing, but you can go back. So when you've finished an area, you can revisit it and finish and mop up. So in terms of pacing, because one of the criticisms I saw floating around that the game was badly paced, and I'm like, nah, the game
not for
is
an
paced.
immersive sim, it's not.
No, it's paced exactly how you want to play it. If you want to play it fast and golden path it, go and do that.
Go for
You
it.
can come back. But if you want to take your time and find every secret, don't worry if you don't miss anything. Like there's some stuff in the Vatican, Nick, where you're mentioning underwater.
Yeah.
In a later level, you'll get a breathing device that allows you to stay under for longer. And there are like secret passages where you have to stay underwater and lift a thing out of the way underwater and then go through.
But I just want to know that I haven't permanently missed that relic.
Apparently, no, you can't permanently miss everything. Like, you can always go back and get everything.
I want it, like, so I got to the end of that underground part and it takes you back up again. So I'm like, can I get back down again?
Yeah, you can get right back to the start again.
Where?
Yeah. You can go and visit all of the dungeons again.
If you remember the name of it, you can actually use the fast travel placards, you know, the street signs that you fast travel in
I'll
a
have
level.
to work it out because I really don't want to. I'm really trying to. This game has me sucked in a little bit now, and I'm trying to do everything.
There is a side quest that takes place down there, so you will have to go back down for it anyways.
Yeah.
I think I'm in that side quest, aren't I?
The main quest takes you there, and then a side quest also takes you there.
Ah, maybe. Okay, well, then hopefully I'll end up back down there again.
But I have to give a shout out to the side quests because
they're good.
Just as good as some of the main content. Like really
I just saw you push someone. I just saw you push someone in the hole. I've done all those achievements where you push someone off an edge, and they're very rare achievements. So I've hit someone with an apple. I've hit someone with a fly swatter. I've hit someone with a guitar. I've got all those achievements. I'm hitting people with the most random shit. Like, I am just grabbing random stuff and killing people with it. It's so funny. What else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, it's hard crashed my console twice.
Has it really?
Oh, no, not my console. Like, the game itself has hard crashed twice and booted back to my home screen.
Oh.
Poor Carlos, we're in our group chat with Jason, and Carlos is like, I'm going to buy the early access. I'm like, just wait, dude. It's Monday. Just wait. He's like, nah, I can't. I'm too excited. He bought it, got the early access, and has not been able to start the game. When he starts the game, it just completely causes his Xbox to shit itself.
Aww.
So he's had to just... I think he's getting a refund on it. He's like, I don't know if my Xbox is screwed up. I don't know if it's the game. He's like, well, I don't know. It's hard crashed on me twice. I've had a couple of little bugs like yours. You know how you can't complete puzzles? I had this one side quest where you have to find a professor right near the start. I found the professor, and I'm not getting any options to talk to him. I'm like,
yeah, John,
what's happening? So I tried restarting the checkpoint.
Too.
Yeah,
like,
I played 5 hours of the game, and I did foolishly. I was like, okay, I'm going to ignore the golden path. I'm going to get all this side stuff done.
Yeah,
I did a shit ton in the Vatican, and then it got to a point where I couldn't backtrack the save. And there was like the evil priest is in the office with the good priest, our friend, and he's like cowering as if I've like frightened him, and no one's talking to me, and I couldn't. So I actually had to completely start the game again during the review period to actually get through, which was a bitch. But
wow,
it was a great game to play. So no harm, no foul.
I'm really genuinely enjoying it at the moment, pretty much as I thought I would. Couple of I've seen some complaints about the combat. I don't know what's wrong with the combat. The combat seems fine for a first-person game.
It doesn't change a ton, but also it is that more goofy Hitman style where it is what you make it. And I do always get the feeling that people feel like if you fail stealth, then things are over. Like that's never been the case even in Hitman. Like you are highly encouraged to just goof around. And you can do a lot of that in this one too, especially even on normal difficulty. I've had no problems, like just beating the shit out of people.
On easy, you're not going to have a problem with combat. Like it is a bit of a cakewalk. On moderate, which is how I played, there is, like to Jesse's point, with the AI complaints, they are right in that the AI is dumb, but it's dumb in a video game way that makes the whole thing work.
Immersive sims
are
not fun.
If the AI was super shit hot, you wouldn't be having any fun. Yeah. But on easy, like you can just pound away and they will just drop after a couple of hits and it's not hard. On moderate,
the combat seems fine to me.
Yeah. It is. But
I'm not saying it's amazing. I'm saying it's fine.
You can get surrounded, and then it kind of becomes this spammy mishmash of like you can't do anything, and it feels rough. But that's the whole point. Don't get surrounded, stupid.
Use counters. Use counters. The counter button is there. Use it. Like I use it
you can
all the time.
In accessibility, you can actually automate the counter. So if you're blocking, it will automatically counter to make it even easier.
Oh, wow. Cool. I didn't know that. But yes, if any of you that have complaints about, like genuine complaints about the combat, not the disingenuous ones like I've seen a lot of, if you have genuine complaints, use counter a lot. It makes the combat way deeper and more fun. Because it feels good to have some bastard with a baton go, huh, and you just go fucking bang, like just right in the fucking face. Like it feels very cool.
I love some of the what's the phrase? It kind of just does it randomly. Like you'll punch someone and they'll kind of be staggered like that, and you might just like push them with
and then
your
you just
finger.
tip them over, and then they go. Oh. That's like what straight out of the movies. The movies had that sort of campy stuff. It's I'm like I said, man, I'm really fucking enjoying it. I reckon it's a really cool game.
A lot of the main complaints I saw
the most
really
important
wanted to be
Xbox
Uncharted.
game ever.
Oh yeah, that too.
Oh my god! Like, come on, man! Like when I see, I understand from the very first trailer, the reveal trailer. Everyone's like, "Oh, cool, first-person Uncharted." I get it. I totally get it based on that first trailer. But everything they've shown since that made it very clear it's not an Uncharted game. So anyone who was going into this like, oh, I thought it was going to be an Uncharted game, I'm like, come on, bro. That's disingenuous as shit. Like, no one could have been going into this realistically expecting Uncharted.
Yeah.
And mind you, Uncharted is just a ripoff of Indiana Jones.
But it's a murder simulator.
A separate
and
discussion.
It's not so much a puzzle simulator.
It's a third-person shooter, effectively.
Yeah.
I know there is some puzzle stuff, though, in Uncharted. There is some puzzle stuff.
Not with the focus you get in something like this, but yeah.
No.
Yeah. And also, like the way this game works, it works first person. You need to see more than you would.
Yeah,
pulled back.
I don't like. I feel like at first, I mean, again, the evidence is there. You can go back to our older episodes where I talked about it. At first, I was like, "Oh, I kind of wish this was third person." Back when I thought it was a first person Uncharted, but once I knew it was an immersive sim, I'm like, "Well, no, that kind of needs to be first person. You can't have that in third; it won't work."
Yeah.
And I feel like the right choice has been made. Like I thought I wanted it to be third. I'd always said my preference would be nice to have a third person indie. No. The right choice was made here.
They're
with it
first
being
person. That is what they do, anyways. They'll pop out for third, but yeah,
they've nailed it as well. Like they've nailed how it feels and the just the general vibe of the entire game is exactly what I would have wanted. Like I can't think, and trust me, as the plot continues, like all the way through these early, slower paced, investigative sections, I'm like, when are you going to do a chase sequence? When are you going to like up the ante a little bit? And when they do, holy shit! Like you will be like, what the fuck is going on? Especially you, if you're not paying attention, Nick. Like the cutscenes, you'll be like, why am I what? It'll be great. Let me know when you get there.
But I'm enjoying the slower pace stuff.
Yeah, I like the slower pace.
That's why I like stealth games, because I like the slower pace and I like being able to do things the way I want to do them rather than what the game forces.
Yes.
So that's why I like Dishonored Death of the Outsider. That's why I like Dishonored. I like those games because they let me do things how I'd like to do them.
I did want to call out as well. I know that there's a section of people that mock those that say, "Oh, first-person games give me motion sickness." For those that actually do struggle with that, like I was playing it when I got the review code, my missus was round and she was watching me. She was like, "Oh my God, I can't look at the screen. That is making me feel physically sick." And we found that on the console version, if you're playing on console, you can set it to display cinematic like Hellblade, because there's no FOV slider on console. So by setting it to cinematic, you get this widescreen presentation, and it does reduce that kind of motion sickness. But unfortunately, being Machine Games, there's still a lot of head bob and unnecessary kind of jerking around. It's just their style. But if, like, I know one of our community members, more, I think, has particular motion sickness with first-person games. If you are sort of sitting here letting the FOMO get to you, and you're like, I really want to pick this up, even if it makes me feel sick, try that, see if it helps.
It will unlock for everyone in Game Pass in 25 hours.
Give it a shot, or nice. I hope it works for you.
Also, I want to call out what I'm showing now from my stream. The ragdolls are amazing. They are so good. It is one of the best parts of Hitman. Just fucking with dead bodies, because you are pretty much always murdering people.
Yeah, what you're about to do right now that I'm seeing on screen, I did the exact same thing where I chucked the body down the slope thing on the roof.
This one works well.
I did the exact same thing.
Yeah,
and I've chucked a bunch of bodies over edges.
It is a goofy game when it wants to be. Like they happily lean into the almost cartoony style of Indiana Jones at times.
They have done what they've done well. What I will say they've done well, and I think your review kind of touched on this. They have made you feel like, how do I explain it? They've done a real good job of making you feel like you are playing within the movie, if that makes sense. So it's like, you know how Last Action Hero, that movie Last Action Hero, how like the kid goes into the screen and then he's like in the Arnold Schwarzenegger movies? It's kind of like that. Like you've gone into an Indiana Jones movie while it's happening and you're just fucking around in that world.
This really feels
I don't know how else to explain that.
This feels like you are playing the sequel we never got to Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Well, apparently it's canon at the moment. It's allegedly canon between Raiders and Temple.
Yep. It takes up 1 year after Raiders ends, essentially.
Yeah.
Also, I bonked a guy with a Stradivarius, and then he fell through a table and it broke, and it's just
it's fantastic. Speaking of giving shout-outs, can we take a moment, and I just particularly want to shout out, again, as always, Predrag, who at the 11th hour, I was like, hey, bro, I've finished writing. Do you think in this last day, these last 18 hours we've got, could you make our written review really shine? And if you haven't checked it out on XboxEra.com, go and look at it because that man cooked. It looks phenomenal.
And I gave him a week for Starfield because I'm nice, but you are not.
We have community questions on this. We should probably...
We have a lot of them.
Yeah. Do you want to dive into them? Because like my arm is hurting holding this phone up and the power's still not up. So I know some of them might be directed at me around Indy and
don't you have like a holder stand thing for your phone?
I do, but it's a really low down one. So I'd be like,
can't you
down
sit it
here.
on something? Sit it on something up high.
Oh, I don't know.
Fashion something.
He would rather complain like a little baby.
Put it on top of your monitor. Like sit it on top of your monitors.
Do the form one first.
That's what I did. My phone is sitting on top of my monitors because I got a new monitor. I don't have the stand thing anymore because I got 2 new screens. Jordan Andow with a super chat. I made sure not to spoil that in the review. John, we definitely need to sit down and talk through this game in detail. Oh, and Jesse will have a surprise for people later.
He has 5 premium upgrade codes, I'd imagine, for the Xbox version of Indiana Jones that he's going to be...
Can I get one of those?
No. You're already playing the game. It means you have one.
Yeah. Yes, thank you to Bethesda Australia's PR for giving me one of those codes. I asked them for one of those codes, and they very kindly gave me one.
They gave it to a ton of people once embargo hit. They were more restricted before embargo because reviews were mostly through the Xbox.
There you go, John.
App.
See,
they're here all night.
But
now.
yes, they were very nice to give me a code, so I immediately tried to jump into it. And I'm
do
enjoying
the form question. I've got that one ready.
Right. Okay. So there's a form question, community question from SJ. Where are we here? Hello, fellas. I wanted to start by saying great episode last week with Gareth. It was. He was an excellent guest who had a lot of great insights about the games industry and had hilarious tangents. Sorry, John. A quick question for Nick and then for you guys. First, Nick. On a scale of 1 to 10, how upset were you about the unskippable cutscenes? I've enjoyed them all so far and I feel like they have lent to the experience of playing as Indiana Jones, but couldn't help myself from laughing thinking about you trying to play it with all of the little cutscenes thrown in. Yes, I was like, I started playing, and I didn't know they weren't skippable going in. So I started to play it, and I started watching the first cutscene. I'm like, I'll see what they look like. After about 10 seconds, I'm like, I'm over it. So I started pressing A, nothing was happening. I'm like, okay, maybe it's B. So I started pressing B, nothing was happening. I'm like, oh no. So I thought maybe it's like Uncharted where you have to press start first and then skip, and that's how Astro does it as well. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I press start. No option to skip the cutscenes. I'm like, oh no, I have to watch all of this shit now.
And there's a lot.
Oh my god,
really
there
good.
is so much.
It is amazing.
Like they're good
4
quality
hours worth.
cutscenes. They're good quality cutscenes. I understand that, and some of them are funny and all that sort of stuff. But I don't want to watch movies. I just want to play the game.
That's why you're watching a cutscene.
There's a particular one, and I'm going to spoil it a little bit, but hopefully it's not plot integral. It's just a side, like little skit. But you get this priest costume, right? So you're Indiana Jones dressed as a priest, and there's this bit where one of the fascists comes up to you and goes, "Oh, you're the priest from Boston. Confess me, I love America." And he drags Indy to the confession box, and then he's in there, and he goes,
I haven't got to that yet.
Yeah, it's a random thing that you can get to occur if you choose to pursue all the side contact. But then this guy goes,
"Oh, right,
I've got a confession to make. My wife is with child. My mother-in-law. I slept with my mother-in-law." And Indy's like, just say 3 Hail Marys and it'll be fine. And then he goes, "No, you don't understand because she's also with child." And Indy perfectly goes, Jesus Christ. And then the fascist realizes that he's not a priest. He goes, "Wait a minute, you're not a priest." And then Indy just punches him through the confession hole.
I haven't activated that. I want to try and find that.
It's so
I found
funny,
some
man.
other funny stuff. Like, I am climbing everywhere in this game. Okay, hold on. I should read out the rest of the question. Second, now that Machine Games is done with Indiana Jones, what do you think they will do for their next game? And what do you personally hope they do for it? Have a great one.
Wolfenstein and then Indiana Jones
I
again.
assume Wolfenstein. Although, I had heard that they were one of the devs on the Quake reboot. So
They
I
do
don't-
tend to work on multiple things, so it could be people from their team on it with somebody else focused, because they've done a bunch of Quake 1 and Quake 2 remaster stuff, but obviously it was just a handful of guys working on it in the background.
So I have to wonder if maybe there's like they've put a smaller team, just leaving Quake sizzling there in the background. I don't know. I assume the focus will be Wolf 3.
I want more Indiana Jones. Like, this is some of the most
Might be a victim of their own
Don't
success.
get me wrong, Wolfenstein I really love, but
given how
if they can
shitty the
do
last
this-
2 movies have been, maybe they let Indy go forward as a game series by Machine Games.
That is definitely a way I think a lot of older movie franchises can remain. Like, you can just make... RoboCop became relevant again. Why? They tried a reboot, didn't do that much, but then the game, even without a big budget, it was just so goddamn fun to be this giant walking tank.
It means you can keep Indy young forever. You just have him looking young. Don't have to worry about Harrison Ford looking old, although he's still a great actor if you watch Shrinking on Apple TV+.
Yeah,
still
he's very old. He's also going to be a giant Red Hulk next year.
Yes, going to be a Hulk next year. But it could be a cool way to keep Indy as a franchise going with Harrison Ford, and have new episodes in Indy like that as a game. I reckon that'd be cool.
Bring Henry Jones Sr. into the sequel. Give me that Last Crusade vibe
what's a
again.
weird thing I
With
saw?
Sean Connery.
There were people
Sean
on
Connery.
Twitter trying to say, "Oh, it's obvious they couldn't get Harrison Ford's likeness." It's like, what?
What?
What game did you play? Like, this
It looks
character
exactly
model
like him.
They're like, this character model looks nothing like him. I'm like,
It doesn't
This is
look
why I
anything
left
like
Twitter.
80-year-old Harrison Ford,
Yeah, it's
but
like-
it looks like young Harrison
this
Ford.
is why Twitter is dying. It's just the dumbest shit. I hate it.
He's 82 years old, so yeah, he doesn't look like Indiana Jones. He doesn't look
But
like
also, like,
Harrison Ford at
And people
82.
are like, oh, it doesn't really sound like him, because they're thinking now. And like, you go back to the movies, no, that sounds almost exactly
Troy
like
Baker
him.
Troy Baker's done a very good job. There are moments, I have found moments even early on, and again, this isn't me having a go, because it would be incredibly difficult to record hours of dialogue imitating another human's
You know what he
voice.
said? He wasn't trying to sound like Harrison Ford. He was trying to sound like Indiana Jones. Like, he wasn't just doing an impression, is what he was going for.
Yes, and there were moments where you can, and maybe this comes from the fact that I used to be really good at impressions when I was younger, and I understand what you have to do to your throat and stuff and mouth to do these things. There were moments where you could actually hear whatever it was he was doing to his mouth to sound like Indy/Harrison. There were moments where you could actually hear that coming through. Like, and it sounded like he was trying to make himself sound nasally. There were just these moments where you could hear him doing it early in that first sequence where you're in the jungle with the Alfred Molina lookalike. Alfred Molina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the amazing chest hair on the other guy.
Hey, they did the chest hair. Looks good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. The
They
hair
made
all
the
looks
chest hair
amazing.
look pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
The best
Okay.
performance in that game, though, is Emmerich Voss.
The guy that we were
German.
supposed to
I
have
haven't
on
got to
there.
him yet. I haven't got to him yet.
Yep.
You need to get him on, because I
I'm
want
trying.
to
I
talk to
keep
him, because
DMing him on Instagram.
the
Probably
like
busy.
Indy as a series has had a series of bad guys, right? We remember the guy from Raiders, but he wasn't memorable. He was kind of like not really threatening. He was just kind of weird, right? We remember the general from Last Crusade who bought it in the tank. We remember the evil priest in Temple of Doom. But Emmerich Voss, by the benefit of this being a 20, 30-hour video game, he has so many more scenes, and he is just scenery chewing, over the top, almost pantomime-esque evil. That I was just loving it.
There was the line from
best
him.
performance.
One of the craziest Twitter threads I've ever seen was Grub posting the line from him about how easy it is to manipulate insecure male.
The insecure male.
And people are like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah.
you're throwing new woke term. And it's like, insecurity has been a thing forever.
Insecure is like a word in the English language, man.
It's always been an issue throughout human history, people being insecure. So I think it's not a woke
I
agenda.
I didn't mention the wokeness in the review because it meant nothing to me. but I haven't seen people freak out yet that there's a lesbian character.
Oh,
They
no.
didn't exist back in the 30s. What are you talking about?
No, heaven forbid. It's done incredibly tastefully in that no one outright says it.
But you can tell.
No one outright acknowledges it because it was considered taboo.
Mhm.
But it's there. And I thought it was extremely well done.
They've
So,
also they have skirted how racist everything was out in the open back then too, because Tony Todd's character, he says darker skin, but you could imagine
I
it
noticed
being
that
said
too.
very differently at the time. Like they're
Yes,
not
I
going to go
noticed that
into it,
immediately.
but yeah. Also, he's very big.
More community questions because there's a lot about Indy. Hold on.
Travis on the
Is your
forum.
but is your brother's question really about Indy though? It's
Indy
not
and
really
Indy.
about Indy.
No, you can do the next one if you want. We'll go back to it.
Yeah, we'll go back to it later because
Yeah,
it's not technically
it ends up being more
really
about,
about Indiana Jones.
Replaced. I
Yeah,
think.
Indies.
Yeah.
Okay. Didact. Yep. Community question from Didact3. Hello, fellas. We all debated about the Xbox tax and how real it is, but seeing the positive reviews for Indy made me wonder, if the PS5 version wasn't announced beforehand, would reviewers be more cynical about the game's flaws, giving it lower scores? Does Microsoft pay attention to this sort of stuff? Could Hellblade 2 have better scores if a PS5 version was announced before release?
All of us
we kind of semi-joked about
Yeah,
that.
let's all just say what
because
we
it's
think.
multi.
Yes.
What?
Yeah, yes.
Probably, yeah. Like we
Yeah.
sort of semi-joked about it before release. We're like, because at first we were like, oh yeah, I said it'll probably be like 81. And then we were like, oh, but it's been announced as multi, so it'll probably be okay. And it's like an 87. So yeah, I mean, but the thing is though, like, it just goes to show you, because it's an Xbox game, see how coverage of it has been so absent not absent as in it doesn't exist, but absent as in so many in the industry just don't care about Xbox. So that's why you get people whose job it is to cover video games going, oh, is Indy an immersive sim? Huh?
Or all the backhanded compliments were like, wow, this is like their best game, the gen, or the last 10 years. It's like, you never hear that about others because they're like, oh, they all have a bunch of good games. But it's like, for this one, it's like, wow, Xbox finally has a good one. It's the first good one in a very long time. Wink, wink. Even if they don't mean it that way, it's just, that's where it comes from. And that's the tax. And that doesn't, you don't get to use that word anymore because too many idiots have no idea what it actually means. And they think it's a conspiracy against the company. It's like, no, they just don't care about the company so much.
They just don't care.
They don't know what's
PlayStation's
going on
their
with
favorite
it.
platform, so they just don't care about Xbox. They don't play on Xbox. They don't really have much interest in Xbox's games. So there's just, they don't know.
Well, it's
'Cause they
people
don't particularly
It's
care.
people who look at that fart sniffy PlayStation 30th anniversary trailer and go, "That was amazing." Like,
It was half of it or a third of it was third-party games.
and dead IP. Like, I don't know. It drives me crazy.
But yes, so I would not be surprised if the fact that it was multi-plat maybe contributed a little bit to it.
Well, garnered more interest in it at the very least.
I did see a couple of people saying, oh, it's a Game of the Year contender. Well, no, it fucking isn't, because apparently Jeff doesn't include December games in the Game of the Year.
Easy Allies coverage, Huber was saying, and this is why you don't have your Game of the Year coverage, your Game of the Year stuff in December. You have it in January. It's like, yep.
That's right.
If it was
Jan or
actually
Feb.
if it was actually about the awards, it would be February. Like, you've got to give people time to play as much as they can.
But as we've
yeah.
come to realize, it's about marketing.
Especially as we've
and
seen
Christmas holidays.
Like, Balatro's interest skyrocketed like crazy, and Jeff's just retweeting that all the time because that is what they're going for. They're going for people paying money.
Yeah. There was a comment before from Assassin.
Renewal.
Grand Benefactor. Yeah. Keep in mind, Machine Games has opened up a new studio a couple of years back. Maybe one is helping with Quake and the other with Wolfenstein 3. Well, yeah, that's what I had alluded to earlier. Like, maybe there's a smaller team just dedicated to keeping Quake simmering away. Because I did ask my source about Quake. Was there any other... No other super chats or anything?
No.
More Indiana Jones. Omen?
Yep.
Omen. So Indiana Jones is looking great. If the PS5 version wasn't announced, do you think Indiana Jones would have caused an influx of Xbox console sales? Do you think it still could, even with the timed exclusivity?
No.
Sort of, and no. So I don't know if it would have caused an influx, like a big influx. But I mean, that's the point, though. Had it been exclusive and getting all these rave reviews, you're going to have people going, "Oh fuck, I really want to play Indiana Jones." Yeah, I really want to play it. Everyone's talking about it.
This generation has proven that people will wait. I think, like right now.
Well, anecdotally, my stepson's dad, he bought an Xbox for Indy, and he's a PlayStation guy. He was like, "Can't wait."
Yeah, there's
buying one.
People our age, I think, will be far more likely because we grew up with it being such a big IP.
Yeah.
And it references the ride. If you're a Disney kid, it references, or whatever universe, I think it's Disney. References the ride, references the Young Indiana TV show. Like, it's got a lot of love for the IP. I think as more and more people who pay attention to new Indiana Jones stuff see that, they'll be into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The young generation, not even a little bit. They could not care less.
I'll always bemoan and be like, lock it all down, man. Lock it all down. Just...
You'd still be on PC.
Anyway, nrXic. nrXic, you
Yep.
ready?
Yep.
nrXic.
Yeah, I'm just going down the line.
Great indie review, Sick. Your review and a few others point out how true to the series this game is, and it makes me wonder, should I do an indie movie marathon before playing this? I'm thinking of all the movies, good or bad, in
Yes,
order of
do all of them.
release. It might take me a few weeks to get through the movies, so it would delay when I started on the game. Yay or nay to this play?
At least play the first game. Watch the first
I was
movie.
just about to say,
You only need one.
just watch Raiders or just watch Raiders and Temple of Doom, and then you get the game which is in between, and you get to see what happened
Temple
in between
of Doom,
the two.
Then watch Raiders and play the game, then watch
Which one
Last
came
Crusade.
first?
Temple of Doom
Which
is a
one came
prequel.
first?
It came out second, but it is a prequel. It's set a year
Yeah,
before.
Temple of Doom, chronologically, Temple of Doom is the first Indiana Jones adventure.
Until
Then
the
it's
TV show.
Raiders. Yeah, and then
Okay,
it's this
so then
one.
watch those first two movies and then play the game, so you don't have to delay playing it as much.
Yeah.
Do it that way, because that's when the game is set. It's set with Raiders and Temple. And when you get the deluxe edition, you get the Temple of Doom outfit, which is what I've been using. I prefer the Temple of Doom outfit.
I've also put the next one from 99 Rukin in there because it's kind of tied to Indian.
Yeah, I thought you might.
Yeah.
99 Rukin. Short question. What IP games based on known properties you want made from Xbox Studios? For me, Punisher by id and G.I. Joe by the COD teams. Yeah, Punisher. Punisher. But I feel like Punisher does need to be third. I feel like
maybe
Punisher, like,
I
it's not
feel
that can
like
be an immersive sim.
somebody has to have an amazing idea for Phil to have any interest in it, because all he has talked about is what a pain in the dick working on licensed IPs is. Like he's not a fan of using an IP, because as we know, next week Forza Horizon 4 is delisted and gone forever if you don't own it. So you can go buy it for like $12 right now if you want to keep it, because anything you do that has licensed IP is just I still think the reason this game is multi-plat right off the bat talked about is because it just made their terms with Disney a lot better. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
You know who would make a good Punisher game, 99 Rukin? The Coalition.
Well, yeah.
They'd make a good Punisher game. Think about how gory Gears is, and it's third person and the melee. Man, if you let them loose on a Punisher game, think about how brutal that fucking shit would get.
It would be good fun. It does make me think. It does make me think about what Blade is going to end up looking like. We know that that's going to be a third-person game.
Yeah.
But this is from Arcane. You know, like,
and it's like
I'm intrigued.
It's like SJ says in chat. You need someone like Dinga or like Todd Howard who are very passionate about that IP, and that's why the game exists.
Like, I love that Todd Howard was the executive producer for this indie game. He's had this story idea. I don't know if you read the interview in Variety about making Indiana Jones, but apparently he's had this idea for years. Like, they tried to do this in 2009. It fell through. they picked the threads back up in 2019, 10 years later. But he's clearly had this, and I really want to talk about the story. He's clearly had this
Next
story
week.
idea, and the fact that it's better than the two new movies,
I like great.
and yet still remains so faithful to how the original films felt, is like a testament to really good direction. Like, nailed it. Really, really good stuff.
It is a really good game. Like I said, I was looking forward to it because it was looking good, and it is. It's lived up to what I thought it was going to be. Cody Bishop has a super chat.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I love supporting you guys. Thanks, Cody. Would you recommend paying for Indy to support the game even more directly than just using Game Pass, or is that misguided?
It does support it more, and you will get a DLC out of it, but you can do that after you've started the game up tomorrow night and see if you like it and want to pay for it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You can get that upgrade anytime you want. You don't have to get it now.
And it is a much better upgrade than Avowed. Avowed's really is focused on giving you 5 full days of early access and then some outfits. There's no content coming with it. It's just an early access and cosmetic bundle. This one is you're getting a story. You'll probably get, if I had to guess, it's going to be Hitman-like. I bet you it's something that is, you get a new level to go do a main mission path and a bunch of side quests in. Like, that would probably be what you get, would be my guess, 100%.
And because some people are experiencing crashes and stuff, maybe wait for your Game Pass version, see if it's all good, and if it is, and you're enjoying it, then pay for the deluxe upgrade, man.
And if you
probably would have in the end.
join, I'm going to put it in chat, discord.gg/XboxEra, and you might win one of the 5 premium upgrades that are going to be given away by our executive producer,
from our next super chatter, Jordan Ando. Punisher needs to be 3rd and should be Coalition. I was typing this message before Nick said it. Yeah, well, there you go. Great minds. Yes, Coalition would be a very good fit for the Punisher.
I've got to shout out Jordan as well. He was reviewing Indy while I was for the Outer Haven. You can go read his review on the outerhaven.net, I think is their website. And we were laughing at how similarly we thought and felt about the game. So you look confused, Nick.
What's up, Nick?
I just saw a comment from Assassin and I didn't know what it meant. If it's unofficial, my community question should be a good jumping off point. What community question? He doesn't have one.
Is it on the form?
No. Oh, wait.
It's on the form.
Oh, it is on the form.
I got it.
We don't have to do that yet.
We'll be talking about the Game Awards in a little bit.
Yes. Since the Game Awards are this week, we've decided we'll do some Game Awards predictions. So, yeah. Look forward to those. So, yes. Indiana Jones. Very, very, very good.
Yep. I'm only 4 hours in. I streamed it on Friday because, man, I got to say.
Where are you up to 4 hours in? I'm curious.
I just did the side quest to bring me back down to the underworld. I've already done the whole underworld thing, and I'm on to the next part. I'm still in the Vatican, but
so am I.
Yeah.
I'm in the underworld, and I'm trying to figure out how to go back. I'm frustrated because I can't go back and get that fucking.
You can leave the underworld and go back to the beginning of it.
How?
Once you're done in the underworld quest, you're going to be back out in the open world. You can use the signpost to bring. You just choose to go to the tower. Just look at the map, and it's like the top middle part of the map.
Because I'm getting that sickness where I don't want to move on until I've done all the things that I want to do.
You can go back, Nick.
And it's pissing me
You
off.
can go back at your leisure, and
when you beat the level, you can go back.
As you progress, you'll unlock more stuff that will make going back easier to get some of the stuff. It's a bit Metroidvania in that respect. Like some of the stuff that you might not be able to get to now, you need the breather that you get in the last level. So you kind of have to play on, but you can go back.
Jordan lied to me. He said he wasn't going to be doing any super chats tonight. Damn liars.
That was happening to me in Zelda Echoes. I started getting all this stuff towards the end of the game that I'm like, man, I really wish I had this when I was like in this part of the game rather than now at the end of the game when I don't need it. So we've been talking a lot about
one
Indy.
more super chat.
Jordan Andow.
Yeah.
Some of mine and John's Indy review is literally word for word the same. It was a little bit scary. So what you're saying is you plagiarized.
No,
Whoa.
no.
No, we
So
we
John
fired the guy who
plagiarized
did
Jordan
that.
Andow's review, did he?
That's the one. I totally ripped off everything Jordan wrote.
That's what I was saying. Like you plagiarized John, not as in Jordan, you plagiarized John.
That's right.
I was saying you, John, plagiarized Jordan.
100%.
Disgusting to see after we fired the guy who actually did that.
Yeah.
I'm still
Assassin
fucking pissed about that. Goddamn.
with the super chat. If Punisher can go to the coalition, let id do Spawn. Ooh. If they can do Doom, they can do Spawn. A new way to get Keith David back on Xbox. I like the Spawn Dreamcast game. You know who else would be good? High Moon could do Deadpool. Well, they already did.
Yeah,
That's the joke.
I got it.
That's the joke. Okay, so Indy is fantastic. Go download Indy on Game Pass.
We didn't mega
and
boost it
PlayStation
because we're
owners
too
can
close to
cry in their pillows.
Yeah, we didn't mega boost it because we're too close to the Open Critic, and we don't actually count.
No mega boost.
Yeah.
Damn,
It is
John
very-
let us down.
People seem shocked when I tell them we don't influence Open Critic, and we barely, if at all, influence Metacritic. So blow it up your ass, especially like freaking Schreier. Like,
But hey,
I don't know why he still thought that.
we were featured on Bethesda's
their
official.
artwork. Yeah, it was good.
That was our payola. That makes us $0 and
Yeah,
0 cents. But John
That's what they
feels
said
good.
to us.
Yeah,
So Microsoft PR reached
Wow.
out to me and
Tom
they
Henderson
said,
going at you.
Aussie humor is so shit. You're shit. Microsoft PR goes, hey, if you guys give it a 9,
I feel like I should mute Nick right now because people are going to take this
Whoop.
seriously.
we'll put you on our artwork. And I was like, really? And they're like, man, you know how much coverage you'll get from that artwork? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah. So I was like, John, that 8.5 you were giving, make it a 9. And John's like, why? I don't even like the game. And I'm like, they're going to put us on the artwork. Do it. He's like, fucking done. 9. Mega boost that
yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It started as a 7, and then I made John bump it to 9.
Please don't actually clip this and believe it.
Okay, what's next?
Right. Well, yeah, I
Um,
can't see anything, and my data usage has chewed through.
Yeah.
Like
So
2 gig.
I said to everyone, download Indy because it's on Game Pass. Also, Game Pass, Microsoft did their final drop for 2024. Where
John's
are
trying
they?
to leave.
Yeah, I was trying to
is
say
he?
goodbye. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because this is uncomfortable, and my it's really straining my eyes, and my phone battery is dying, and I'm
Okay.
using all of my data. So, sorry, I can't control the weather.
Okay.
But,
If it
I'll
comes
be
back up, feel free to jump back in. Just let me
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, we'll see what happens. If it comes back earlier, we'll see. But if not, thanks everybody for watching the indie review. And apologies that this episode has been wonky, but these two can now chat on for the next 5 hours.
You mean Nick is
That's
going to
right.
talk nonstop? I don't get to say shit.
Thanks for the mega boost for Indy.
Yeah,
We got on the
I'll see you
artwork.
guys
We
later.
won. Yeah, woo.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.
And that means I need to
Ciao for
immediately
now.
just add myself
Man,
in
that
there again.
dude sucks.
Yeah. All right. Put myself there. And now I'm going to hide all of this. Doing the productions on the fly. Boop. 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 And
Tom, who doesn't have unlimited data in 2024?
I don't need it. I technically have it, but I don't bother
I
with
actually don't either.
it. Yeah. So they give us 50 high speed and then unlimited 3G.
Mine banks.
Yeah.
Mine
Mine
banks
doesn't
up
bank.
up
I've
to a
never
terabyte.
used more than like 5 or 6 gigs in a month. I don't.
Yeah, I
need
don't
it.
use that much
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm at home all the time, anyways. But there, look.
Yeah, my home is unlimited.
We've got our old setup where we're up top and the gameplay's down below. You can just watch when I.
Yeah, but my name is wrong.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! Fine.
I'm not John,
I'm just gonna. I should just turn them off.
and you're not me. You wish you were me.
There. Now no one has anything.
No
No names. People know
So
who
yes,
we are.
Microsoft has done their final 2024 Game Pass drop. So there's obviously Indy, which you should go download now. We've got WRC. We have Overthrown, Wild Frost, Crash Team Racing Nitro Refueled.
It
which
is
that 30
only-
frames?
It is 30 and it's only on console.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they never.
Why
They've
is that
never
game?
touched it. It never went on PC, so it's still stuck at 30.
It's a kart racer.
I know. Well, it was last gen, right?
My God.
But I'm also funny thing with Game Pass. They had 3 new and a couple returning, and then yesterday, out of nowhere, they announced 2 more. For the King 2 and Hunt Showdown are both coming next week.
Yes.
Which was
and there's Carrion, which Carrion's been there before.
It's a return. So the other ones were returning. Carrion and Road 96 are both returning.
Road 96 and Forza Motorsport, Haunty, and Humanity are joining the standard tier.
Mm-hmm.
So they were already in, I think, in Ultimate. I think.
So they
and they're now joining the standard tier.
They make their picture look nicer by adding what's coming to standard every time.
So that's not too bad a finish to the year. I mean, Indy's obviously the highlight.
If you go 2 years ago, so last year, this is about the exact same now. So last year they added, I believe I counted all of them. It was 149 games last year. And before yesterday's announcement, they added 149 games this year. After yesterday's announcement, they're actually 151, which is above 2 years ago. But 2 years ago in December, they added like 20 games. So people are always hoping they're going to do that again because they will not have another drop until mid-January because a couple of the games don't hit until early January from this one.
Should Tom Henderson jump on?
No, I just set it up for 2 people. So we're good.
I thought he might want to, and then we can just hear the clink,
it's
clink, clink
insanely
of his
late for
fucking
him.
alcohol.
Who the hell's talking oranges?
Clink, clink.
I don't even get what that means.
Whiskey. I'm having whiskey because I'm an alco.
So yes, so that is the.
There's been a lot of
final
talk
Game Pass
online about Game Pass, like the enshittification. Someone in our server was like, the enshittification continues. I'm like, man, I've gone through the numbers. I was talking with Canoodle on Twitter too. It's like, oh, there's
Isn't
definitely
that just Noble?
Oh, Noble.
Isn't that just Noble?
Talking with Noble on Twitter, he's like, oh, I've talked with some devs, and like, it's harder to get a deal. I was like, well, yeah, because they've still got like 30 in the backlog for games that got delayed from this year. And now like next, and I don't think it's in there, but January now has 5 games already for Game Pass. What the hell are they? So 3 of them are day 1 editions, as at that PC gaming show. Eternal Strands and Citizen Sleeper 2 both got dated. So over the course of 4 days in 2025, there are 3 day 1 launches hitting Game Pass now, with Carrion joins at the beginning of the month. Road 96 is on the 7th. Eternal Strands is day 1 on the 28th. Sniper Elite Resistance is day 1 on the 30th. And Citizen Sleeper is day 1 on the 31st. So they've got 5 things already for January. They've got
but it's not all good news.
Oh no.
Because Microsoft, they have to step on a rake. There's also a bunch of stuff leaving Game Pass this month.
That's
a couple
true.
there were like, I was like, oh wow. So leaving December 15th, we've got Amnesia, The Bunker, Forager, Forza Horizon 4, because that's been delisted. I saw some people like, oh, they lied. First party games aren't all on Game Pass. Like, yeah, but the Forza games always get delisted because of the stupid licensing. Rainbow Billy, The Curse of the Leviathan, Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Yeah, so that was obviously
leaving.
That joined last December, so there was definitely a 1-year deal on that one.
Yeah, that's been there a long, and my God, please play Rise of the Tomb Raider, because that is the best Uncharted game there is to this day. It's like part Uncharted, part Metroidvania. It's, oh my God, Rise of the Tomb Raider, seriously, it is one of the best games. It's so, and I mean, it always goes on sale for like $5. Just buy it by now. Don't even worry about playing it in Game Pass. Just buy the stupid thing.
I'm sure they probably given it away on GOG or Epic already too.
Oh yeah, it's been given away everywhere. Tin Hearts, The Quarry, and then leaving December 31st, BlazBlue Cross Tag Battle, Close to the Sun, Humankind, which hasn't been there that long.
Yeah, Close to the
Lego
Sun was
2K
only
Drive.
joined this year too.
MechPixel 3 and Party Animals. Now,
Yeah.
Party Animals has been there since launch.
Yeah, so it's
How
a little
long ago
over a
did that
year.
launch?
Year and a couple
Yeah.
months, I think.
And they announced on Twitter that they're leaving. So what they're doing is they've discounted the game heavily, saying, hey, buy it
Yeah,
before it
half
leaves
off.
Game Pass. Yeah. So that's the Game Pass news. To keep the Xbox train going. Now, this is a story that Jesse in particular noticed wasn't being talked about, but it's actually a bigger deal than people kind of realize.
It's an enormous one.
Yes. So Microsoft has very smartly, one of the rare smart things they do, Microsoft has very smartly partnered with iFixit to allow, what is it exactly? They allow people
You
to
can get
repair or-
guides and parts. So you can now say, I want, what is this Series X part list? Well, Jesus Christ, it's literally every part of the machine, including
Yeah.
a toolkit
The SSD.
designed to let you get in and poke and unscrew and spudge your way through the console. And the biggest thing is probably the fact that you can get the SSD now, because that was
Separately.
I think the main thing you couldn't really get before, but you can get most of the parts of an Xbox that you would
Here's a
need to
question.
repair.
Does that mean that theoretically we could upgrade the SSD?
No. So they're
No?
just telling you what comes with the console. So there are more parts on the
Oh.
Series S. So like if you need that SSD, here it is right here, Xbox Series S SSD. It's just bam right here, $100. It's out of stock now because I think a lot of people just freaking wanted them. But this is what you could not get before, which was an SSD that would work because it had to have a specific boot profile on it that you couldn't get unless you like got one right from them. So like for right to repair, having all of this shit just there, including like joystick controller, joystick pieces.
Yeah, but there are people that have figured out how to create their own little expansion cards.
There
So in
are
theory-
ways to get around it, but it's really hard.
Yeah.
So now it's just works, which is always a better thing for long-term preservation.
Because you're showing there on the picture, that's a Western Digital NVMe SSD. So you could theoretically buy a bigger one, a 3 terabyte, a 4 terabyte.
If
and
you're able to,
install that.
if you're able to clone it, you could already do that now. But if you already know how to do that, you know how to do that because that form factor is a basic one.
Ooh, here we go.
But also,
I
like-
am very tempted.
Yeah, and they give you guides like how do I change the power supply? How do I do all this? And then you go in and it gives you the whole walkthrough. Like this is the really good long-term solution stuff on how to go through all of this that people always want. Like even, okay, you don't want to lose your sticker. Here's how you take your sticker off. Like all the most
Yeah, yeah.
basic everything. Their guides are amazing.
The funny thing is, from the start, it always looked like we could just take the back of the Series X off really easily.
Mhm.
It always came across that way. But yeah, this is great. Like I am legitimately tempted to like upgrade the SSD. Like find a way to buy a 4 terabyte and have it so that it can actually work as the SSD, and fucking just upgrade the storage in my Series X, man. That'd be sick.
It's a disk drive. This does not look like a disk drive. That is weird.
I knew you could take that back off. It looked like it was pretty easy to take off.
Oh, it's the accessory.
That's cool.
board.
Like
Yes,
I
okay.
feel like all this is going to open up a lot of doors for modders and stuff. Like people that want to make like their own custom Series X's and shit,
Mhm.
which could be cool. Like people can just make their own one.
And it's also if you have Surface, like the Surface Studio, Go laptop, Go Pro laptop,
Yeah.
all their like it's a full on collaboration with them, including the Xbox stuff. Now, the Surface Pros are definitely incredibly hard to actually go through and repair. They always get like a 1 out of 5 repairability score because they're glued together. Those super tight because they are these super thin little tablet PCs. But just the fact that you can potentially do it with all this stuff is pretty nuts. Now, there are also like only a certain amount of things you can do even if you go through their guides because it just mostly breaks if you try and pull it apart. But yeah, it's a really nice thing to see, and it's been weird to see it so roundly ignored by an industry that's normally very good about championing.
because it's not PlayStation.
Yeah, I guess.
PlayStation already allows us a very nice, convenient, easy way to replace, or not replace the internal SSD. You can add your own on the inside. It's very easy to do. It was the first thing I did when I got the anniversary one. Hey, I just realized something. That ties us in to one of the next news stories, which is quite handy.
Ooh.
The funny thing is, those parts that they list, I've got a lot of those already. As in the tools, sorry, not the parts, the tools.
Yeah.
Speaking of the 30th anniversary of PlayStation, or do we want to not talk about that?
It's up to you. I don't care. I just got rid of things I think you guys didn't care about, but it is the theme one.
Yeah, it's not that important.
I would just say if you like them, don't get attached to them because for some reason PlayStation's 30th anniversary themes.
So
are
a
all
bunch of
time limited.
people thought the PlayStation was going to have a showcase on the 3rd of December for some reason.
And announce something
Because we
Bloodborne.
saw the numbers in a trailer.
And Bloodborne had server
Anyway.
maintenance on the 3rd.
Yeah. All the 3rd of December really was them releasing a bunch of temporary kind of themes for the PlayStation 5 that correspond to each generation of PlayStation. To be honest, they're a bit meh. I would have preferred that they actually put some effort in and made them proper animated themes for the welcome screen, which would have made so much more sense than what they've done. They've just got these really crappy borders. So the PlayStation 1 border is ugly as shit. The PlayStation 2 one's not bad. The PlayStation 3 one's not bad. The PlayStation 4 one's okay. They've also made the menu sounds correspond to each PlayStation. That's really fucking cool. So right now my PS5 sounds like my PS3. But you have the welcome screen. You brought in the welcome screen and added themes to it that take over your whole screen. Why wouldn't you just use that and make them permanent for these 30th anniversary?
Because the reason I think about it with PlayStation is in general, they know if they give really cool things like that away for free, that people wouldn't pay for other ones in the future if they want to monetize it. That's why they're also all temporary. They all go away after a while. Like, it's really weird.
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. It's so dumb. And like, there's a new boot screen. If you cold boot, it boots up with the PlayStation 1 boot screen.
For a little while.
Yes, temporarily. But man, you don't realize, like, I don't know why. Like, maybe it's because the PlayStation's OS is all in the RAM. I don't know. But instant on, or the quick boot on PS5 is actually surprisingly slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like with Xbox, instant on is legit instant.
Yeah.
It's almost like when you just turn on your laptop or your or tablet from sleep. It's almost that fast. With PlayStation, like PlayStation's quick boot isn't that much faster than Xbox's cold boot.
Mm-hmm. I think they're roughly the same time.
Which is quite surprising.
Because the cold boot on Xbox is only like 20 seconds now.
It's not, I mean, the instant on PlayStation 5 is a little bit quicker than that, but not much quicker. And given the way they were fucking all jizzing their pants over the SSD, I'm actually surprised at how slow that is.
Well, it's because the reality of how things load is that it's also really tied to CPU.
I just assume it's all in the RAM, and maybe that's why it's a bit slower. Maybe it's not using the SSD at all for the OS in any way.
Maybe.
Which would also explain why the OS is so stable, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
But also RAM is volatile, so every time it turns off, the UI would disappear if that was the case. So no.
I don't know. I'm just theorizing here. But that's enough about the PlayStation shit. Although, do we just go with the other?
Only if you want. They're literally just things if you feel like talking about them.
Oh, you know what I just realized? With John not here, we can't do the game show.
No, we can't.
That's shit.
I know, and we've done most of our community questions already.
This is going to be a fucking quick show.
Yeah. Well, no, because
okay.
we haven't talked about the main thing you wanted to talk about, which we can leave for after the news.
Yeah, we can leave after the news. So speaking of PlayStation, we'll go to the next thing. Shawn Layden, who did, I think, an interview.
Yeah, there's an interview series with Eurogamer. Yeah.
They were asking him a bunch of questions. He talked about how, and I think he has mentioned this before, that he thinks, in words that were music to my ears, he thinks that games should be shorter because these massive, bloated, boring, open world, action, adventure, fucking third person over, these games are getting ridiculously expensive to make. And it's, he says it's unsustainable, I think. And we've said that for years.
Yeah, and it's definitely it's unsustainable for a very specific company. The one he knows the best personally. Like it was getting too big overall for them, and I think you've seen that. You have seen in the leak with Insomniac, they're trying to change that.
Like yeah, Spider-Man did well, but that's because it's Spider-Man.
And
That's
also, it had
leaning
to
on
sell
the
7.5
IP.
million copies at full price to break even, which is crazy
Yes.
because it's a really big IP tied to a company that, even though Sony has them by the balls on live action Spider-Verse stuff, they don't for games. They had to give up so much to get the Spider-Man. They had to give up a ridiculous amount of money to get the Spider-Man license for games, and now X-Men. Like they are giving. It's a bad deal for them essentially, but it's good for the brand. So for those,
It's good marketing.
yeah, for those games, it's not great, but they're doing it for the overall stuff it could bring them. Because right now, one of their best companies is making a ton of money, but they have to give up most of it to the company that they're friggin' beholden to as the IP holder.
But it's still overall smart for the
It is,
brand.
yeah.
Sony has become very good, or PlayStation has become very good at making PlayStation the home of stuff.
But
so
if one of those games misses, it's
they're fucked.
devastating. And that's
But-
what happened with Concord, where like
Yeah.
for everything Sony did, like Concord 8, they had one of their best quarters that they've had in a long time where they kept like 800 million. But you look at the Concord deal and you can say, yeah, they kind of lost half of that. Like it's crazy
But that's
how much
why
that can hurt.
Insomniac is now a Marvel studio, because it's safe. It's the safest bet. And it's a shame because Insomniac are capable of incredible stuff
Yeah.
like Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, we'll
like
never
Ratchet
see that.
Clank.
Sunset Overdrive as a success will make 1/50th the money that Wolverine probably would.
Yeah. So that's why Insomniac has been turned into a Marvel studio, because it's a safe bet. Like Jesse just said, if one of them doesn't hit, but the likelihood of a Marvel game by Insomniac not hitting
Very
is
low.
extremely unlikely. Extremely
Even though
unlikely.
it is less than it had been with 2. And that's why 2 is probably hitting PC so fast for them.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah, it's all guesswork.
But yeah, so that's why. But Sony's good at that. They made themselves the home of fighters. They've made themselves the home of Marvel games. So even though Marvel Rivals isn't exclusive, even though a lot of other Marvel games aren't exclusive, you'll find that people just associate them with PlayStation, thanks to Spider-Man, thanks to X-Men, all that
Having
sort of stuff.
one
So
single
they-
exclusive skin makes people think, oh, that's where I should play it.
And that's right. That's why they do the exclusive skin deals with Spider-Man, and all to keep reinforcing that message that, hey, we are the home of Marvel video games. It's smart. Hopefully, Microsoft can get that back with COD.
It's funny, Brett saying if only Sony could produce good movies, and it's funny because Craven is like supposed to be
Craven's about to come
it's
out.
supposed to be a hard R, like an actual really R-rated movie and very violent, but it's also going to have by far their fewest amount of theaters for one of their movies. It's like way less than even Madam Web, which they did not have any confidence in.
This was an interesting part of the interview, and I like his wording here. Actually, I'll read this part first. He goes, during the PS4 generation, which was the last I was associated with, game dev was 150 million if you want to be top of the line, and that's before marketing. So by that math, PS5 games should eventually reach 300 million to 400 million, and that is just outright not sustainable, which is, we've said almost those exact words on this show so many times. He added, it's like we're at the end of the 18th century, and we're realizing that building cathedrals is really expensive. Can we continue to build these massive edifices to God? Did I pronounce that right? These massive edifices to God for this incredible amount of labor and time? Or should we just build 4 walls and a roof and that's a church, right? I'm afraid we've built AAA gaming into a kind of cathedral business, and it just can't grow any further. In fact, it's probably grown too far already. Asked how this trend could be rolled back to something more sustainable, Layden replied that games are too long. Fuck yeah, they are. Suggesting that while the length of a game used to be one of its main selling points, as the average audience has aged, a long game has become less of an attractive prospect to some players. Hey, fuck you all, I was right all along. For the longest time, we kept banging on about 100 hours of gameplay. This is going to be awesome. It's 100 hours of gameplay. Like, that's the most important thing to know. Oh, this is like
Well,
fucking
it
music
was.
to my ears.
I would just like to counter. It was more important when there were less games. There are going to be almost 20,000 games launched on Steam.
Yes, that's
this year.
right. And I think that is a byproduct of a bygone era where we all used to only buy 1 or 2 games a year because that's all we could afford, or it's all what. So everyone wanted as much time as possible out of their games. But now the follow-up part to this, the metric was That was the metric in the early years when the average gamer was 18 to 23. And when you're 18 to 23, you're time rich and money poor. Fuck. See, I know this fucking industry like the back of my ass. But as the average age of the gamer moved into the late 20s, the early 30s, well, it's the opposite, right? Maybe you aren't money rich, but you're definitely time poor. So I think our approach is a mismatch to that market, to reality. Fucking
For a very specific subset of games, also, I do think the average playtime for most games has been a lot lower lately. Because companies immediately started realizing at the tail end of last gen, it's just way too expensive to keep trying to do this all the time. So I do think a lot of games have been that you can beat an Alan Wake 2 in 12 hours if you want. Like I did my review in 13 hours, I think. That was playing. I beat, a lot of things I don't take that long. There are very specific genres which do focus on the longer playtime, like a Persona or something like that, which is a game that is built to be 80 plus hours. But that's not the norm. And I do think there has been even on Sony's end, none of their stuff lately has been that long. And that was actually a complaint people had around Spider-Man 2, where it felt a little short.
I think they're too long. I still think
nothing's been close to
before,
Uncharted or Last of Us 2. Nothing's been close to those lengthwise.
Since we're talking about PlayStation, I said this, I can't even remember when, 6 months ago, whatever. I still think my advice to PlayStation, since I know this industry so well, my advice to PlayStation would be have your tent pole and then build them a bunch of little tents around the tent pole. So you've got God of War 2018, and then you've got all its assets, you've got all this shit. Start to make these little expandalones like First Light, like Hivebusters, and sell those cheaper and use the existing assets so it doesn't cost as much to make them.
Even something like Ragnarok was you could beat that game in roughly 20 hours. You could do a lot longer if you wanted to, but I know people that beat it about 25.
Beat it in 20 hours.
Yeah, I think the average completion for Golden Path was like 20 to 25. And the original one was about the same. Yeah, 2018 was about, I think I beat that in like 18 hours.
Fuck me. I'm probably going to end up putting, like, I put 26 into Alan Wake, but again,
that's a you problem.
That's because, yes, that's the game drawing those 26 hours out of me. It didn't force.
Even though you're
like
skipping
Prince
all
of
the
Persia.
movies.
Yes, I'm skipping all the movies and I still put in 26 hours. Prince of Persia drew 41 hours out of me. That is not a 41-hour game. That's just how long I played it for because I fucking love Metroidvanias and that is one of the greatest ones ever made. But yes, games need to get shorter. I push for more
There are a lot of
expandalones.
short games. As someone who plays a lot, I honestly think there are a lot of perfectly paced games. The issue isn't game length as much now. I think the issue is much more overabundance of games. There's just kind of too many for the average casual to keep up with.
There's too many good games as well.
Yeah,
too many legitimately good games.
Banishers Ghost of New Eden. You can beat that game in 15 to 20 hours. It's great. It's not too long, but it's a full $60 game. It's going to have a really hard time finding an audience.
Super chat, good timing. Super chat from David Brownfield. There's also something to be said for games that can be replayed for hundreds of hours, like Balatro, Slay the Spire, etc. Small, cheap, replayable. That's the other problem.
The main issue is most people are spending all of their time on the same 10 to 15 games. So,
yes, that's the thing, and we're splitting our time with those games. So, I have to play my Rocket League. Yep. You all did your 2024 Xbox year in review, which we were going to talk about in the news, but don't worry about it because now it's relevant because it's talking about hours in games. What were my 3 top games?
Yeah,
can you guess?
Rocket League, Fortnite, and
Balatro.
Yeah,
and guess what was 4th? Prince of Persia.
Can you guess
Game
mine?
of the year. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Again.
Starfield. You're number 1.
Starfield was number 1 on Xbox. So my playtime is heavily split between Xbox and Steam because of review code. And people get really mad at me for it, but review code is generally available a lot earlier on Steam because they don't have certification. So number 1 was Starfield. So everything was something I reviewed. What do you think number 2 would be?
For you?
Mm-hmm.
It would have been a
2 and 3. So all 3 of them were RPGs. single player
okay.
RPGs.
2
that I
would have
reviewed.
been Dragon Age.
That is 3. Number 3 is Dragon Age. And tied in the
Number
exact
2
same amount of hours is Game of the Year nominee DLC.
Oh, Elden Ring.
Yep.
Shadows of the Erd Tree.
Yeah.
It's funny, Brit in the chat. How many hours did Smurf into Dreams draw out of you again? Didn't draw it out of me. 26 hours. It's actually in my top 10 most played games of the year, the Smurfs, that fucking game.
My number 4 is
I've
Flight.
done-
My number 4 is Flight Simulator because I was playing it in preparation for friggin' 2024, which is finally working and actually got a 9 on IGN because it's very good.
But this is the issue, man. Like, Layden's right. Like, between. So, for those of us.
He is right about their games. I swear to God,
Yes.
you can beat Dragon Age in about 30 hours if you want, which is a good amount of time for a big RPG.
But there's just this I feel like there's this irony to the fact that someone like me hates long games, but I'll put 3,000 hours into Rocket League.
Oh, I almost spit my wine out because
What?
the MVP of this Rivals match that's coming up in a few seconds for you is named Fraught Lover. And if you know what fraughting is, it's very funny.
No.
People who are
I
not
do not.
circumcised, when the things go together and one goes inside the non-circumcised.
Oh, is that what that's
That is
called?
frauding, yeah.
I've never frauded before, but I'm
No.
open to the
Well, I'm
idea.
American, so I never can.
Okay.
I
Now,
almost spit all over the place.
yes, but there's an irony to the fact that someone like me hates long games, but I'll put 3,000 hours into Rocket League, and I'll play Rocket League for like hours
Because
and hours
it's
on
not,
end.
you're not doing one thing.
I know, it's not the same thing,
Yeah, you're
is it?
doing it for 10 minutes at a time, and you can be done if you want. But if you want to keep going, you then get
Yes.
something, you get the same experience, but it's a different match instead of being the
Yeah.
same conversation you've been having.
Yeah, that's right, Chank. That's docking. That's
yeah,
how
why don't-
I've heard it called docking.
What is frauding?
That's what I've heard.
It's not going
Not
inside,
frosty.
it's just touching. Sorry. Just touching.
Ah.
That's fraud.
Oh, that
So
I do.
inside docking with the foreskin, but when you don't get the foreskin, your bros got to just fraught.
Just kiss.
What do we get up to when John's not around? My God.
we talking about?
It was a name in the goddamn footage. I'm sorry.
But
Super chat.
what the fuck are we talking about? Oh yeah, hours. Risk it for the biscuit. Nick, I said this like 3 years ago. Yeah, we've been saying
a lot
it
of
here
people
for
have.
ages too about length of games. Like,
But
it's,
it was also
as, like, the-
specific games. So it was very much of the Sony and Ubisoft tentpole that happened around Last of Us, Uncharted 4, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. That was like the trio of way too long because Uncharted should have been half the length. Last of Us should have been a third shorter, and Valhalla should have been half the length at the most. Like there was an era where the open world games were getting way too long.
yeah. Oh my god, they were ridiculous.
But only some
man.
from specific people who spend the most. Because also you just had Red Dead, which can be easily 70 hours to beat. But I think it serves it as an epic Western yarn if you're into that. Because
Now,
Red Dead's one of the best
something
games
else
ever made.
Layden talks about, and Shawn Layden's my new favorite person because he's saying something else that we and I have been saying for such a long time. Layden also suggested that the constant chase for intricate levels of detail ramp up production costs, and if the games are too long and players don't reach the end, that results in a lot of resources spent on content few actually get to see.
Yep.
Fucking thank you,
that
Shawn.
is, and people always wonder what is one of the bigger advantages that Nintendo has, and it's that they're still not pushing fidelity. So they can really focus on
Yep.
everything else. They can focus on the art style more to carry their, dog water tier tech, but they've got such amazing control over how they make things look that even at 1080p, they can make their shit really pretty, and then they're all about the
That's-
gameplay.
That's why Marvel Rivals looks great. That art style's fine, man.
Oh, it's
and
so
those art
good.
styles hold up.
Mhm.
They hold up. Marvel Rivals is still going to be a good-looking game 5 years from now, 10 years
that's
from
one
now.
thing I like about Fable and people lose their shit. It's hyper detailed, but I don't think it's photorealistic. It is still stylized more than other stuff. And if you're gonna, and I think I know it's not gonna hold up as well, but it is exaggerated in ways. Like the Outer Worlds secret level episode is this exaggerated take. It's a little uncanny valley, but it's not as uncanny valley as something like the Crossfire one, which is just trying to be real life. And I do think
there are exceptions to the rule that we've spoken about before. So there are games that go for realism that still hold up somehow. Like, I don't think Hellblade 2 is suddenly going to be an ugly game in 10 years' time.
Yeah.
Horizon Zero Dawn, not going to be an ugly game in 10 years' time.
It was so ugly they had to remaster it.
Yeah. Rise, Son of Rome. It's 11 years later, and that game is still gorgeous. Like, absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, because there is that level of how realistic are you trying to be? Are you going full on, I am trying to be this thing that mimics real life, or do you keep stylized elements to it? And I do think as long as you at least have some heavily stylized elements to it and a little over the top, then yeah.
nrXic, I'm 2 minutes behind in the stream and I'm in near tears.
Mm-hmm.
He's in our previous discussion.
Yeah. We never said this was a kid show.
I am going to do my best to get Shawn Layden on the show at some point in the future.
You left out the other part where he's like, I don't think it makes any sense for PlayStation to ever put their games on Xbox. And by his thinking, I agree. He did say that in another.
Does he say that?
There's multiple parts to that interview. I think I've only linked to one. But he's still in their older mindset. And I do think the future of gaming, I don't think they're going to do it anytime soon. The only thing that ever has a chance is Lego Horizon Adventures, because that seemed to really bomb. That might be the only one. But the reality of where gaming is going is getting your games everywhere is going to be king, because no one wants to lose money on hardware anymore. Like the sales, Matt Piscatello was bemoaning it, but the sales on hardware this Christmas sucked. But the sales on software were great. Like you get up to 80% off a lot of shit. But the actual sales for hardware were like, you can get $50 off. We raised the price $50 earlier in the year, but you can get another 50 off. And that's about it, because no one wants to lose any money on anything.
I'd be okay with that, Rayoid. If everything was cell shaded and hand drawn and all that, I'd be okay with that, because that shit's gonna. I
hope
be
that's
timeless.
the majority. I hope more things are stylized than more things are going for realistic. I agree.
Streets of Rage 4 is going to be beautiful forever. It is going to be beautiful.
You know, it's going to be beautiful forever.
Ever.
Indiana Jones. Yeah, it looks real, but it looks stylized, and it's got that real lighting. It's got a look to it that people. I think it's got a look that people will appreciate compared to the movies, because the movies are old.
No, I reckon Indy will age. Where I think
it
might not look horrible or anything.
Where I think it will.
Age.
So like skin texture and stuff. Like they've got knuckles and they've got eyeball movements and stuff like that. That are one of the main things that really age photorealism. Where also I think Hellblade really succeeds in is the animations of how a face works. Those are the main things.
Well, Hellblade just looks so ridiculously real that it's almost impossible for it to age. Because it basically legit looks
And Amit Kumar
real.
is with me. Indiana Jones is stylized realism. It's not photorealism. It is stylized in some way. It's meant to look like the movies do, more than a picture of Harrison Ford playing something and a camera's just in front of him.
They've managed to capture young Harrison well, and young Harrison Ford was an incredibly good-looking young man.
He was a carpenter
Harrison Ford
who sold pot to people.
Harrison Ford was legit fucking hot when he was younger. Even better looking than me. Like, he was fucking
one of the few people out there.
That's right.
I think the only other main news story we had was Ubisoft.
I was just going to say that, yes, I'm going to endeavor to get Shawn Layden on the show for our good friends watching, everyone in the chat.
You should do a 1v1 with him, because it's super hard to get someone that rich and old to spend a Saturday. So
if you can all please spam him on Twitter and say, hey, Nick from XboxEra wants you on the show, and he agrees with 90% of everything
he's a PlayStation fan.
Help.
His favorite system ever was the PlayStation 3, one of the ones you were really involved with. Bam.
Best one.
And we can record it whenever works for you on 1v1 with Nick and Shawn, our new show.
Yeah. Now, the next bit of news...
The only thing left
I guess the final bit of news...
is Ubisoft X NetEase.
Yes. So apparently Ubisoft shareholders are open to a buyout. And before any of you go, Microsoft ain't fucking touching.
They would double their
Ubisoft.
employee count if they bought Ubisoft. Though part of this is Ubisoft also shutting down X-Defiant in May and closing Ubisoft San Francisco
my God, yes.
and Ubisoft
X-Defiant.
Osaka. So hundreds and hundreds of people losing their freaking jobs.
Yeah. Like,
And then
there's no way.
BioTalk.
As we've said before, I think ABK has like put any future, at least major acquisitions, to fucking in the grave. Like that's just
individual studios. I really hope that they would only look at something like a Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal.
Hey, a $10 super chat from Kevin Skinner. That is, I think, just a sticker. Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kev. And Creaky Legs has one. I don't think I can make that conversation short as much as I want to.
You absolutely can. You can make that conversation short.
Yeah,
I challenge you.
But yeah, what were we saying? Ubisoft.
Yeah, Ubisoft.
Yes. It's a shame how X-Defiant is gone now.
It's impossible to freaking break into that market enough, man.
Unless you're Marvel.
Yeah. Unless your NetEase is willing to just rip off Overwatch, allegedly. Not allegedly, I mean, everyone knows it.
Yes, and Widowmaker.
They created Widowmaker just to... they created Black Widow just to rip off Widowmaker. I can't believe it.
Yeah, that was it. But yeah, look, I'm sure Microsoft at one point was probably looking at Ubi before they got.
But then once you see what Ubi
ABK,
is, you're like, we're good.
But I wouldn't be surprised if I wouldn't be shocked if there was like deeper issues there, and they looked at the head count.
If they were looking years ago, I think any deeper issues have now come to the forefront, and you're like, no.
The licensing would be a bit of a nightmare, like around Tom Clancy and stuff like that.
So it does seem like they did when he was dying. They own Tom Clancy. I think I've asked Tom Henderson about that before. Like Tom Clancy video games are them, where it had been an issue in the past, but they bought the name Tom Clancy in his like video game stuff, so it's not as bad. But yeah, they're just a mess. Unfortunately, I am still looking forward to Assassin's Creed Shadows. I know they were doing a preview event.
Yeah, me too.
I'm hoping they do another one. I probably won't get to review it, but I'd still really like to do the preview.
And please buy Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, because it's the game of the year.
It's so good.
It is the game of the year.
It's in my top 3, probably. I'll see.
Just
XboxEra's Game of the Year coverage. We will be co-streaming, myself and Ursel. It's literally starting at 1 a.m. for John, so I'm not going to ask him. And it's the middle of a Nick work day, so I wouldn't expect you. So myself and Ursel, I think maybe Gyozo said he might be there. Fairy Empire. He needs to have a good mic if he's going to be. I think we were buying him one. But yeah, we will be co-streaming the Game Awards. I don't know that we're going to co-stream anything else. It's really hard to get guys during the day. Like I know the Game Awards for people who can't afford the Game Awards is coming. But like Ursel works at UPS in Canada, which is really screwed over right now by the postal striker work. So we'll do what we can. We're a little tiny company, and if you want to go to patreon.com/XboxEra and help us out. So if I could hire this stupid asshole right to my side right here, this guy you all think I hate, even though we get along really well, it would be amazing. We just need like to triple our Patreon.
Because we're bad. Like the stream, everyone, please. It helps us out a lot. And we never fucking talk about how we want you to like everything.
I know, John's so bad about that, man. And it is really important. But also, the actual news story is Ubisoft is looking at a potential buyout from NetEase, but the shareholders want the Guillemot family, Yves Guillemot and his brothers, to still be in charge. They don't want NetEase in charge. And so it's complicated, as Sheryl Crow would say.
I saw people that are like, oh, what if PlayStation buys them?
No
you
one
think
wants
PlayStation's going to take on 20,000 employees?
That would quadruple their employee count. Like PlayStation as a company is not that big.
It's not even about the money, because I don't think Ubi would be that expensive right now. It's not about the money. Like Sony could afford Ubisoft.
It'd be 3 or 4 billion probably.
You are taking on 20,000 employees across the globe. Do you seriously think PlayStation could manage that shit? Microsoft's struggling to still bring in Activision.
Yeah. They're spending $1 billion a quarter. They are spending $1 billion every quarter bringing in Activision. Like, it's insanely expensive to... incorporate all of those people, and Activision was still less than Ubisoft, even though they almost doubled while being bought.
Way less.
Yeah. Well, no, they
Like-
went from, what was it, 7,000 to 17,000. I think they actually more than doubled. But now they fired a whole lot of them.
From a size perspective, Katakawa makes sense. Like,
yeah, the Katakawa issue
Katakawa's-
is they also have just a bunch of things that Sony has no interest in. And they're like, we will buy the things we want. And Katakawa was like, no, Sony, buy it all or no.
all of it.
Yeah.
All or nothing.
Because Katakawa was trying really
so
hard
that's-
to avoid hostile takeover from a South Korean company, is the rumor.
Yeah. I think it
and
might
I
be
would
more
say
than a rumor.
Darren Cool and Brit, yes, the out of memory crashing during shows and even just live streams I do during the week absolutely kills viewer counts. We'll be at 200, going to 250, and then it crashes and 50 people never come back, and it fucking kills us. But what can we do? Nothing, because YouTube doesn't care.
But yeah, that's going to be an interesting situation to see how
Yeah.
that plays out and who, if anyone, buys Ubi. Now, we are now at the funnest part of the show. We don't have a game show, but we have something that's almost as fun.
We have something with game in the name.
Yeah, we are going to do our predictions for the Game Awards, what we think is going to be there.
Hmm.
So,
Unlike everyone
Yeah,
else
we'll
on the
talk about
goddamn internet, I would just say straight up front, we don't know. I see everyone teasing. I see the Tom Hendersons. I see the Tom Warrens. I know Nick always has his wink wink predictions. We'll see what he actually knows, but we're going to pretend we don't. I mean, we don't.
okay. So we know our nominees. Jesse, please watch the stream where Jesse and I voted
That was very fun.
on behalf
Yeah.
of XboxEra, where we voted for what we wanted to win. It wasn't what we thought would win.
Yeah.
But of course, let's talk about what everyone actually watches the Game Awards for, which is the trailers for new and upcoming games. Now, as we just saw recently, Xtasis said, hey, guess what? You're going to see a trailer for South of Midnight that's going to give the date
Can I
at
say
the Game
this?
Awards. Now,
I think he might be right. We'll see a date. I bet you he's wrong on the date.
I don't know the date.
He said March.
but Jesse will tell you that I told Jesse quite a while back
Yeah,
that
long
we're going
time
to see a
ago.
trailer for South
Yeah.
of Midnight
So
at
that's
the
why I
Game
think
Awards.
he's right about that. We'll see that. But
Yes.
he says March.
I was told quite a
maybe
while
he
back.
knows because we were never told when or anything.
I didn't get told a date
Yeah.
when. I just got told that we're going to get a date trailer for South of
Yeah.
Midnight, which is why avid watchers of this show will have seen every time South of Midnight was brought up, you would have seen me going, I reckon we're going to get a date trailer at the Game Awards.
Yeah.
I reckon we're going to get a date trailer at the trailer. And then I revealed on Twitter now. I took a screenshot from my personal Discord where I mentioned like over a month ago that we're getting the trailer. But yes.
Yeah.
So Xtasis, I believe, will be right on that one because
Yeah.
a few people.
And he might be right on March. I would just think April.
I don't know about the March
Yeah,
thing.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Rand said
so
April yesterday.
what else?
Wow.
What do you think will be at the Game Awards,
So
Jesse?
it's for
What
what
do you
people will
reckon
care
we'll
about
see?
here, like Fable, Doom, South of Midnight, and Jesus Christ. You can think of like Clockwork Revolution, because we don't really know when that one
Ooh.
might be. I don't think that would be a Game Awards thing though, as we have already gotten a pretty long trailer, unless it was closer. Like what would be sooner for Microsoft? Hey, there, my YouTube finally crashed. I'm sure we just lost a ton of people.
Okay.
The sooner things definitely feel like South of Midnight. So when you told me that we should see a trailer for it, I was like, yep, absolutely. The other sooner thing, I think not Fable. I would think Doom, the Dark Ages, knowing how ridiculously efficient id can be and their tech and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Seeing
And
more,
that is a 2025 game.
yeah, they said 2025. I don't know what we've heard about Fable. Oh, it's always behind and all this type of shit, and people were surprised they put 2025 on it. I wouldn't expect Fable. I think Doom would have a higher chance without having any actual idea.
All right. Well, I'm gonna categorize
Mm,
my predictions into two categories.
okay.
Stuff that I'm pretty confident will be there,
Ooh, wait,
and
we've
stuff
been-
that I'm like,
we've been issued something by a grand benefactor, so he gets to jump in front of you for a second.
what?
Assassin
Oh.
with the super chat. He has a prediction.
Oh yeah. Will South of Midnight be the only Xbox game there?
Yeah,
Well,
watch it.
Assassin. I don't know. Like, Again, I don't know. I'm predicting here.
You seem to think that potentially there's going to be more, from what I gathered.
Yeah. So what I reckon, what I'm fairly confident in my prediction that we'll get, I reckon we'll get a new Mafia 4 trailer.
Oh yeah, what was that? The
It's
Old
been
Country.
Yeah.
You were right about that name before they said it.
Sure was. So we'll get the South of Midnight date trailer. I reckon we'll get a Doom gameplay trailer. I reckon.
That'd be nice. You reckon?
I reckon we'll get Control 2. We haven't seen much from Control 2, have we?
You did this a lot better on the couple of June showcases ago. This is just too
Did
obvious.
what? Did what better?
People immediately know. It's too obvious, man.
Um,
I would also say
all right.
anything that isn't there, they're probably going to have a direct in January. And you could imagine you'll see some stuff there.
I reckon we'll probably get Borderlands 4.
That
New trailer for that.
Even without you just saying it, the way they've been talking about it and all that type of stuff, that felt like a lock for me with Randy talking about it and stuff.
I'm just predicting here. I'm just guessing.
I don't believe you. I'll just say
Um,
this. I don't know. Nick hasn't told me anything because I don't give a shit. But never trust this man when he says he's just predicting after 2 Junes ago.
Now the stuff that I'm not sure if it'll be there. I'm less confident. I reckon we might get like something related to like Civ.
I mean, that makes sense. That's out in February. It's early February.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's right. Maybe like a Perfect Dark story trailer. Maybe.
we'll have aliens.
Mate, this is like I said, this is the stuff I'm less confident about my prediction. Maybe something like Dragon Quest 12. Didn't that get announced ages
That's
ago?
been
We haven't
known
seen
about
that for a
forever.
while.
It would be cool to finally hear about
That's
it.
what I'm
again.
saying.
Yeah.
Didn't that get announced ages ago and we've
Mhm.
seen nothing of it? Like we might be due for something Dragon Quest.
Maybe.
What else?
I don't know. Go to your DMs and
Maybe-
look.
I'm
I'm
looking at the
teasing.
feed.
I'm teasing.
Like
Rayoid said, huh.
like
You blew his mind.
possibly something God of War related. Maybe.
I don't know.
Possibly.
If Ragnarok was a expand alone turned into something bigger, they could be closer. I don't know. Especially if they're going smaller scope, because they've already got so much of the tech. Like it's not having to
what about
rebuild everything.
what about remasters of the OG games
yeah.
or like
Yeah, you
the
talked
OG
about those
games being
before.
ported for Plus?
Yeah,
Because they're bringing the PS2 games.
Those would
They've
be
been
fun.
bringing PS2 games in bits and pieces to Plus.
could they please put those on PC? Because I would like to play them. I would like to just see the opening of God of War 3 in like 4K 120. That would be
Oh
insane.
my god, God of War 3, fucking hell!
Going up those goddamn friggin' Titans. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, that's the best. Those old God of War games, man. God, they shit on 2018 and Ragnarok. They're so much better than
I liked
2018.
2018, but I still remember outside of the try hard bullshit with how Kratos was in the original games, like I still like that gameplay style a little more.
I love 2018. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
It was my game of the year in 2018. But those older games are so much more fun.
Red
They're
Dead
just
2 on
better
PC
games.
is still the best one, but that was what 2019.
But yeah, that's what I reckon will be there. Like the stuff that I'm confident and less confident.
So the stuff you've got in
in terms
DMs that say yes and things that say
No,
maybe. Okay,
it's
all
not
right.
DMs.
All right.
It's just what I think.
Sure.
It's just what I predict.
We'll see
will be
next
there.
week. Wink,
Like I
wink.
predicted the South of Midnight date trailer. It's the same. I've been predicting it for a month.
And then it leaked.
Happens to be correct.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Ah,
I'm seeing stuff in the chat too.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, the ABKBC stuff. They've been like
that'd be nice.
stuff has been happening in the background. With that.
Yeah, I am curious.
The
Like, would they have
Deadpool, Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Yeah, would they have anything? Because they know it will be their biggest audience of the year. What would they have outside of some first
It would
party?
be a cool announcement.
Yeah.
That would be a sick announcement. It's like, hey, all those sick Marvel and Transformers games you loved, they're back for a little bit. Because I assume it wouldn't be permanent. My
You
assumption
think they
is
would let
there'll
it be
be a
bought,
window.
or would it only be Game Pass?
No. Look, because they did that the first time around. They made them available to buy and then yanked them again.
Yeah.
So my assumption
They
is
seem
that
to have a
they'll
pretty good.
pay.
They've got a good relationship with Disney, so maybe.
Yeah, I
Not
had
a
said there
prediction,
was a
though.
rumor mill a while back, I
Yeah.
think. I think there was a rumor mill a while back where I
Mhm.
said they're working with them to bring back Deadpool, to bring back Marvel Ultimate Alliance.
Portal Player doesn't think
And-
they will announce that, so never mind.
Oh, I don't know. That I haven't heard anything. We've seen, like, people have been finding shit going on with Steam and, like, on the back end of Steam and stuff. I've seen it on Twitter.
Mhm.
Um,
It would be cool
So
to
I
see
think
some
it
of the new
would be
Sega
a-
stuff. I'd really want to see Shinobi. I'm taking that one for
oh,
review.
God, Shinobi by
I'll
Lizard
get you
Cube.
a code,
Did
but
you
I'm
see
taking
the
it for
leaked?
review. Yes, I did.
Did you see the leaked gameplay of that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God!
Is
If
it-
you haven't been on YouTube, I actually sent the link to the guys at Lizard Cube in case they weren't aware. And they didn't reply to me.
Who's
But
this
there's
weirdo?
leaked gameplay. There's leaked gameplay of Lizard Cube's
It's,
Shinobi.
it is still up there. They didn't give a shit.
YouTube. Yeah, they don't give a shit. It looks, oh my fucking God. I can't wait.
Yeah,
It looks so good.
it looks really pretty.
Oh,
It looks so much
Christ,
better
they're
than any
playing it.
Shinobi game really ever has.
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Shinobi's one
I
of those
said
IP that's I don't think ever actually really been good.
No,
not in a
It
modern-
was. It just wasn't big.
Yeah,
it was good.
it's
just
not-
wasn't big.
It hasn't been good in modern times. At least I should say it that way. Like it's been a long time since a Shinobi was really like at its time.
Oh, but this just like let Lizard Cube. Oh, you're playing it.
Mhm.
Let Lizard Cube just do all of Sega's old shit. Altered Beast, Golden Axe.
Altered Beast has
Shinobi,
never
Streets
been
of Rage.
good.
Just let Lizard Cube do all of it. Let them
That
do.
was all
Let
of
them
it.
become the official Sega old school remake studio because the shit they do is fucking next level unbelievable. Like you're seeing it now on stream.
That was all that.
Look
was
how
the thing,
fucking
as far
good
as I
that
remember.
looks, man.
Yeah, it's very.
Look
pretty.
how good it looks, man.
Very pretty.
What the fuck? That. Oh my God. That just looks.
I'll get you a code, but I
Incredible.
want to review that one.
Oh, that just. It looks
Oh yeah,
amazing.
Wonder Woman would be really cool to see at the Game Awards.
Oh yeah,
That game's-
Wonder Woman. We haven't seen shit from that.
Yeah, they're letting them cook, even
We
though
haven't
their
seen anything
division's
from
falling
that.
apart.
Yeah, that would make sense to be there.
I'm just gonna
What
close
else?
my
What
what year,
else?
my dear. I guess we'll do that next week. You can know since John doesn't want to be here, but it was gonna be IP games, like big IP.
Oh, really?
I mean, it
I
made
would
sen-
have actually had a chance.
Yeah, it
there.
would have made sense. I went for a little more obscure sometimes to make it harder, but yeah, because of Indiana Jones, that was gonna be the theme.
Yeah.
But we can't
I
do
would
it
have
with
had a
just me
chance.
and Nick here, or
Man, that would be amazing.
we
if
can
could
do
get
it with
all
just
those
you here. I've done that with John. Well, we've done it before. If you win, A gets it. So out of 15, you need to get 8. If you get 8, A wins. If you get less than 8, B wins. The other person.
No, that's okay.
Yeah, we've done it that way before.
We'll leave it. Yeah, it's more fun if both of us are here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good
Mm.
shout. That one. I reckon if we can get those Sega reboots, like trailers for them, that would be.
Not all of them, but maybe there's
Incredible.
1 or 2. Like the ones that are probably further. The smaller ones would be further ahead. I don't think Jet Set would be. Because that's supposed to be the big open world one. That's like, MMO.
The MMO one or
Yeah.
something.
Because that
Oh
makes
no, Crazy Taxi's the MMO.
both, I thought, because they're both open world Destiny style MMOs where it's not an MMO like WoW, but it's like this online thing because it is focused on tagging the city. It is focused on driving through the city, like those two games. So it makes sense for those. But
okay.
the like, Streets of Rage and Shinobi, I do think are
Streets
smaller.
of Rage, I'm not sure on.
Yeah, I didn't like
Streets
the
of
way it
Rage,
looked.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure on, man. Like, there's not many bigger Streets of Rage fans than me, and
But that is
4
very
like,
different than 4.
Yeah, like my
It was almost
my
Power
thought
Stone
process-
looking, but slower.
my thought process for a Streets of Rage game, 3D one, a modern one, is just Sifu. Like, I would have just given Streets of Rage to the Sifu devs and said, okay, just put our game
make
as
it a little
skin
more
over the top of
Absolver
Sifu.
like with instead of because Absolver I think was more co-op, which would make more sense with Streets of Rage, but it was also proto Sifu.
Yeah.
Also, I gotta say, Star-Lord is a really annoying character, but he's very fun in Overwatch. He is a mix of.
Oh, is he?
He's Tracer.
Overwatch.
He's just Tracer. In friggin' Marvel Watch.
Marvel Rivals.
Yeah. And he is just, because I was gonna say Tracer, so he is just a mix of Tracer with her weapons, but then also does a Reaper.
Okay.
He has a Reaper ability he can just do on cooldown. It doesn't do the damage, but he just shoots everyone around him, and he can fly. He's very fun.
Okay. But yeah. So I don't know. Chat. What do you guys want to see there? Like, because there's a lot of games that we don't think of because there's so much coming out. This shit in 2025, you forget. I wonder what else could be there. Come on, chat. Give us something else.
Yeah.
Or we could just go straight to community questions.
I mean, there's also, once we go to community questions, the show's over. There's 1 or 2 left. That's it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, we did most of them. They were almost all Indiana Jones.
Oh, right. Well, remind us what else could be there at the Game Awards, because I can't think of anything.
Not many
else.
awards, because people aren't going to really care. Killer Instinct 2, I don't think so.
Killer Instinct 2,
That'd be
man,
cool.
I wish. That'd be so good.
2 people in a row saying Killer Instinct 2. Not even in sync. Crimson Desert makes sense. I think that one got delayed. I am interested in it. It looks cool. Very promising. Not a Nick game in the least, but a more me game. Gears of War remakes. What do you think, Nick?
Oh, again, I wish. I bloody wish.
We wanted to check it out, Luke. I know Luke has it. I should have asked him who he talked to, because I messaged
on
the
Switch?
people. I have no idea. I messaged the people behind it repeatedly and never heard anything back, so no.
Yeah, I want to review Power Rangers if they'll give us the code.
Well, you'll get an ID at Xbox one soon anyways, no matter what, so.
Well, I've almost finished my fucking Smurfs review. I've recorded the voiceover and stuff. I've just got to whack the video together. My
Next
God.
Metro game. Yeah. I don't
Contraband. Oh my
No.
God, Contraband. What the fuck happened to Contraband?
I know, that's weird, man. That's been 4 years since they revealed it.
Oh my God.
So-
And it's not just that it's been such a long time since the trailer. It's the fact that we've seen zero
They have
since
talked.
the trailer.
Like, you can find that studio talking about the game, but they've never shown anything. We've never seen the gameplay. We have no idea what it actually looks like outside of what Jez has talked about. So,
yeah.
be very interesting.
I may have been shown something.
Don't care. If I can't see it, I don't care.
Just a little thing.
Everwild would be crazy,
Like-
but they have so
Like
much.
literally little.
I would be surprised if we got something from Xbox we don't already know about, because they already have so much talked about. Not saying it can't happen. I would just be surprised because they've Black Myth.
Oh yeah, people are saying Black Myth for Xbox. That would make sense.
So the CEO, or I think the CEO of the company that makes Black Myth, had teased more people getting access to it. So yeah, that I think that one feels, it would be very funny if they won Game of the Year somehow, and then they were going to announce it for Xbox but got played off the stage before they could, like happened last year with Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah. Yeah, Jeff wouldn't be very happy about that. A former PlayStation exclusive being announced for Xbox at his show. He'd be like that fucking James Franco meme.
I'm going to send you 2 emails that
My
Luke just
show?
very generously gave me, who are literally the people I have emailed before. But Nick, how about you try to get your Power Rangers game? You're not going to hit embargo. It's out on like Tuesday, but you could maybe get it over the weekend. Thank you, Luke. But yeah.
So you've already emailed them.
I have, but I never heard, so maybe it was lost or something. I don't know. So there was an issue with some PR companies where we're either seen as creator versus press. Also, some individual in the past had said that they were our contact and not us, and that has still been a problem a year plus later. I won't go more detail than that. But yeah, if you want to try, feel free. Just be very nice. That is the secret. What is the secret to working with publishers to get early review code? Don't be a dick. About it. The more reach you
I'll have a
have,
crack.
the better your chance you have, but also the more you're dick, the less chance you have.
I'll have a crack. Okay. Just typing in the email address now.
Mm-hmm.
This is riveting podcast audio.
I mean, who cares? We've been talking so much. We're good.
Oh my god.
What, Portal player,
Okay.
why do you think Jeff hates on Xbox? He let them show the Xbox Series X first.
It's not that he, again, it's not so much that he hates Xbox. He just loves PlayStation so much. Like, and that's okay. Again, I've said this 100 times. It's perfectly okay that Jeff adores Xbox, PlayStation with every fiber of his being. That's okay. But like, he just needs to curtail his enthusiasm for one brand over the others a little bit, so it's not so obvious.
Kojima's there again.
Like, as a person with so much power within the industry and so much sway, he needs to understand that he needs to understand his power and not just become marketing for PlayStation. Like, have a look at the Game Awards. How often does PlayStation give him stuff for the Game Awards? Almost never.
Or even for opening night live.
Yeah,
like anything he does, it's not a ton. I think they give him Lego Horizon.
Yet Xbox gives him so much. And he just does not give a shit. It's sort of like it's sort of like in relationships. The people that want you are the ones that you don't chase. The ones you chase after don't want you. It's the same sort of thing, man.
Yeah,
treat them mean and keep them keen.
He's built up a show. I think also the main issue with PlayStation right now is they don't have anything. Like, people are always like hoping for secret PlayStation shows, but the reality is they don't. They just don't have anything. They were chasing live service really hard. That failed miserably outside of Helldivers, which did incredibly well. Even though that has slowed down, it has a nice, consistent Steam audience. Even if it's died off a bit on console, that game was the success. Everything else has been a failure. Like, everything else they've tried. And that was a lot of the work they did. And we're going to see, what is this Horizon Zero Dawn MMO thing that they're doing? Like, so much of their emphasis before Jimbo left was live service. And now that's mostly failed and cost them a ton of money and a ton of time. And how much time was spent on The Last of Us Online? Like, they just don't actually have a ton to show, I don't think. They might have some stuff, but just not as much as we've been used to.
I don't know.
It's been dead for a while. Like, one of the big announcements around the anniversary was my first Gran Turismo, which is a Gran Turismo 7 trial. It's just a trial of the game you can play on PS4 and PS5. Like, they don't have a ton of shit. It caught up to them after going so ape shit at the end of last gen, and then trying to go ape shit early in this gen, but having COVID really wrecked that. They haven't had anything. And I think one of the main things I've heard from casual people is like, outside of better loading, I haven't really needed a PS5 because they haven't had that much shit. And I think people would, as long as they just had things that make it feel like a new generation, that would have been okay. But so much of their stuff was either forced next gen only, like Returnal can run on a dog shit PC. That game doesn't need to be PS5 only. Demon's Souls doesn't need to be PS5 only. Ratchet and Clank might benefit greatly from an SSD, but even then it's not full loading. It is loading you into slices of levels that are already somewhere else. It can just be slower on a hard drive on PC. It does work. Like, it's been a weird thing. And now one of their big games is a sequel to a game that Gareth told us last time they had no confidence in and had no idea if it was going to be any good, with Death Stranding.
Death Stranding?
Yeah, and does he own 2? Is 2 stuck on PlayStation exclusively for a little while again? Is it 5 years again? Is it a year again? I am curious. We got 2 super chats.
We don't know. Big Papi Senpai. That's a super chat. If Pecora doesn't win Content Creator of the Year, Kojima is going to ghost Jeff. I don't. Who's Pecora? I don't know who Pecora is.
But I believe you.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Big Puppy Senpai. I don't know. I know some
we
of the
voted
really
guy
famous streamers
on
and
random, and I don't even remember who he was.
Yeah, we just picked someone at random. Assassin, $2 super chat. Just waiting for Hard Drive versus Keeley Part 2. Yeah, they roasted the shit out of him. It was good.
And he responded, and he should not have. It did not go well.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want us to keep going,
like,
keep super chatting, because outside of talking about the Game Awards, I think we have a couple of community questions, and then that is about it because we're not doing the game.
Bro, Jeffy boy, you're not fooling anyone.
Yeah, it's also like people always think the Xbox tax, which that term just got run into the ground. It's dead. The Xbox tax is not a conspiracy against the platform. It is just that people did not grow up loving it. They will not overlook its foibles. That is what is happening with Nintendo and PlayStation all the time. People will happily overlook issues or get way more excited about announcements. Like if PlayStation was doing an iFixit collab, I swear to God, it would be covered everywhere because it would be amazing. Because it is amazing that Microsoft's doing it. I have no idea if it's every part. I have no idea if it's the best everything because I haven't seen anyone friggin' cover it and try and figure that out. Because like no one seems to give a shit because they don't use the platform, so they don't care. They'll go, "Oh, that's really neat to hear," and then not give a shit. But if Nintendo did that with a Switch, they'd lose their goddamn minds because it's what they really care about. So that's what it ends up being. HoloLive. Oh God, VTubers.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
The core is a VTuber. We found out.
Oh, that's right, the VTuber. Yes.
And I agree with more. There's a big dose of Microsoft hate in there, and I hate Microsoft as a corporation. They've been dog shit for decades. They still are with a lot of the things they do, and that definitely carries over into hatred of the Xbox brand when it fires and that division firing people, which sucks. It's dog shit. They could pay those people forever if they wanted to. They just don't. But also, you don't hear the same amount of vitriol against the PlayStation division, who have done 5 firings now in the last year and a half or so. Like, it's all shit, and it's not treated equally shitty. Like, everything should be shit on the amount that Microsoft is, but it's not. And that's the problem. It's not shit on Microsoft less. It's shit on everyone else the same amount that should be happening.
Yep.
Well,
so that's our...
And that is a tax, Relski. But I'm saying you can't use the term anymore because people who don't understand it killed it. They just killed that term. No one's going to take you seriously if you use it now.
Yeah. We've said it before that the tax is less of a tax on Xbox and more of a boost for PlayStation and Nintendo. Like, I funnily enough, actually agree with the vast majority of Metacritic scores Xbox games have.
Yeah.
I actually agree with the vast majority because Xbox games actually get reviewed properly. They get critiqued, they get analyzed, they get all that sort of stuff. But most of the reviews for PlayStation and Nintendo's games are just loving ads and talking about how nostalgic and how amazing it makes them feel and how it changes their perspective on life and wants them to be better parents and all that bullshit. They're just ads. They're not actual reviews. Because if PlayStation games were reviewed properly, God of War Ragnarok wouldn't have had the same dog shit UI and worthless upgrade system that it made worse from 2018 because no one critiqued it in 2018.
Or
they just talked about how
Tears of the Kingdom wouldn't have been able to fix all the problems of Breath of the Wild that nobody ever talked about. It was like Breath of the Wild was a perfect
because they don't
10.
get reviewed properly. These games aren't being reviewed. They're just ads. That's what they are. And that's a problem. Because God of War 2018 was my game of the year, but it had fucking flaws, man. It had serious flaws.
You also really like Astrobot, but as JB1521 is saying, like,
yes,
it's overrated
Love
on its
Astrobot.
Metacritic, even though it is a fantastic game. Being far and away the highest rated thing of the year was a given the moment I saw the trailer. Super chat.
So Santa Monica learned nothing from 2018 because no one sat there and critiqued them and said, hey, your UI is shit and your upgrade system and item system is worthless. No one said that in any of the reviews, at least none of the majors did. So, of course, Santa Monica's like, oh, everyone must have loved our UI and let's expand on that. And they just turned it into even bigger dog shit with Ragnarok. And that's the problem when you don't actually critique a game. Like, talk about everything. It's a video game, man. It's not a fucking... Anyway.
Super chat.
So, Super chat. Assassin, there is no Xbox tax. There is a PlayStation Pass. Yeah, and that's effectively what it is. It's that the other two get a boost because everyone loves them so much.
Even Valve gets a boost. Like, all the major platform holders essentially get a pretty good boost.
Hey, that's what we didn't talk about. But you know what? We'll save that. We'll save that discussion of the rumor of a Steam console, a Valve console. We'll save that for next week because there's a guest that I've been trying to get on for a couple of weeks, and I would have loved to have had him on for the portable talk, but I feel like he is equally as good to talk about a potential Valve console. So we'll hold off on that discussion until next week. Because, yes, there's a guest who I've been wanting on for a while now. And the funny thing is, he said to me, he's like, Saturday night's actually perfect for me. But then the last 2 weeks, he happened to have stuff on, so he couldn't jump on. So hopefully we'll get him next week. Hopefully. So that's our Game Awards talk and our predictions.
We got a few more community questions, which I will have to. I display.
So we'll now go. We'll finish off. We'll finish off by wrapping up with the remaining community questions.
The first one from Jesse Brother, one from
Jesse Brother.
There were Game Awards community questions. Jesus Christ, I completely forgot. There were 2 of them.
Oh, then we'll do the first community question as the Game Awards ones, and then that will tie into the others, and we're good to go. So, first community question relating to the Game Awards is from Hytham. A statement. Although the event is next week on the 12th of December, I will say is that my games of the year of 2024 are Stellar Blade, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and Astrobot, which I played and beat recently. But I don't know what game could be the game of the year. But I will say is the games of the year are always full of shit as usual. So yeah. What?
I don't know.
P.S. Which of you gents think which game will be game of the year 2024? I've said Astrobot from the start. I said Astrobot before that game even came out. You knew it was going to be Astrobot. It's going to be Astrobot. And of the options that we are getting, I'm fine with that. I still think Prince of Persia should have been in the running.
Never had a shot.
And I think it's a crime that it's not. I mean, look, Balatro should be. I want Balatro to be game of the year because I think it's
so. I do think Balatro has a chance to sneak in because there's no consensus.
Balatro is amazing.
If it's a heavily split vote, that would be how Balatro wins.
Balatro is amazing. Prince of Persia is mine. Spoiler. So when XboxEra puts their Game of the Year stuff out, mine is going to be Prince of Persia.
We do weighted voting. You're 0.01% of the overall.
The funny thing is, I said it back in January 2024 after I played it. I was like, right now, Prince of Persia is my Game of the Year, and it's going to be tough to budget from there. It was. It was tough to budget from there. It stayed my Game of the Year throughout the entire year. It's just so amazing. I don't know what Jesse's is. Erdtree?
From what's on their list, it would probably be Metaphor.
Metaphor?
Now, Erdtree, if it was a full game, yes. But the fact you have to play 45 hours of Elden Ring to access Erdtree, no.
Yep. Next question, Jesse Brother.
Oh, we're just going, okay.
Indian and Indy. Happy podcast 240, John, who's not here, Nick and Morty. Sorry, Jesse. I need to ask you about WoW Classic and how Microsoft lied because wahahaha. Sorry, I couldn't keep the game going because luckily I'm not Brian, who infested last Saturday's chat by carrying on about such a non-story. What happened?
It's not WoW. It's World of Warcraft 1 and 2 remaster aren't in Game Pass, and the guy could not let it go.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because someone in the chat was saying that Microsoft lied because all their first-party games.
Brian was saying
a real story is Indiana Jones and the Great Circle because that game is looking so awesome. Excellent review, by the way, John.
Oh, you're welcome, mate.
It's looking like it... That was an Australian accent.
Yeah. I do Australian for him and British for you to annoy you.
Too right, Pip. It's looking like it would be a great replacement for the game I just had to give up on, Stalker 2, which was just too hard for my post-stroke motor skills to keep up with. And I did give it as fair a shake as I could, given the tragic situation in Ukraine. Speaking of Ukraine, my question this week is about the Indy title replaced. Oh boy, I played that one. I know John's played a little of it. When is it supposed to come out, and will it be on Game Pass? Even if it's not, I would be happy to buy it from those courageous sons of bitches.
This year, no date, yes, on Game Pass.
Okay, it is. I played it at Gamescom.
Ooh, it's a lot deeper than you think. That was the main thing I noticed. It's like it's not just a platformy action game. There are mechanics to it, like RPG.
Yes. It feels a lot like Flashback. It's heavy in its feel. Visually, just fucking hell. It's just going to like burst your eyeballs. Gorgeous game. Might be the most beautiful looking game that comes out in 2025. Although South of Midnight and that stop motion style is also incredible. But yes, it's supposed to be on Game Pass, and it is going to be good. I'd be surprised if that game is a letdown. I'd be very surprised. Hugh. Is the next question?
Mm-hmm. Got it up.
Hugh. Howdy, gentlemen. I was just wondering if you will be co-streaming the Game Awards for games who can't afford the Game Awards.
No.
Yeah, I get you. I'll be traveling, but plan to watch what I can, as I think it's really important to support the indie scene. So is there going to be like a separate sort of
somebody made a
makeshift
funny
Game
stream
Awards?
that's like the things I can't afford to actually buy a Game Awards spot. So there are multiple
That's pretty
things.
cool, though.
Yeah, it is just tougher because somehow John's never available for anything, and Ursel is always working, Nick's working, so it would just be me. At which point I'm like, eh.
I do try. I do
no,
try.
you try harder than John. Don't tell him I said that.
So what is this? So what is it? The Indie Game Awards, or is it the Game Awards?
There's both. So there is the Game
Friday,
Awards
December
for those.
13,
Yeah, the day
6
after.
PM.
The day after. So that'd be your Saturday. That would be
Wait,
the exact
December
same
13?
time. Yeah, that would be the exact
Oh
same.
yeah,
One exactly.
I could do that.
That'd be exactly 24 hours before the podcast starts. That weekend.
Podcast.
Yeah,
I could probably do that.
I'd be around.
I could maybe do that.
I'll be around.
And then the indie one's December 19,
which is
my December 20th.
Which is a Friday morning. Harder for you.
It's a Friday. That one I won't be able to do because it's a Friday morning.
But yeah, we're pretty much always beholden
so
to is
highly
anyone
unlikely.
else around besides me.
During January, okay, you know what? For anyone watching, I don't think anyone's watching.
200
For
people are
any
watching.
of our content creator friends who happen to be watching, I think Luke is still here because I just saw him chat.
Hey, YouTube.
I am taking 2 weeks off. Actually, you know what? I'll talk about that in the wrap up. So that was Hugh's question. We will try. We might be able to do the Game Awards for games who can't afford the Game Awards. Might be able to do that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Layfield.
Wait, what am I doing?
Christmas memories.
Got it.
Lee Layfield. Howdy, gents. Another howdy, gents. I trust everyone's having a great week, and Nick is still exclusively playing Rocket League
Not so much.
with its banging house tracks. Hey.
Luke is very
Question.
excited having you on.
What's your favorite video game Christmas Day memory? Wow, would you believe I don't actually have any?
I think
Mine's unwrapping all.
Go ahead.
Mine's unwrapping all my presents and being given a Game Boy Color, but no Pokemon Red. My parents tried telling me it must have fallen out of Santa's sleigh. I like how he spelled sleigh. I went straight upstairs, opened the wardrobe, and there it was. I then spent all day playing it. Years later, I asked my father why it was hidden. He told me it was so I'd spend Christmas morning with my family and not my video games. That's actually a smart idea. So remember, everyone, to spend time with those you love this holiday season. The Xbox can wait for a few minutes. It means a lot to them. But what if the Xbox is the only thing I love?
True. I think one year we were getting like Sega CD or Sega, like there was the 32X maybe. I remember that. Like that being the big thing. I was like, holy shit, these are expensive and not that good.
I don't think I ever got consoles or anything like that for Christmas growing up. Like all my memories of getting consoles as a kid. So I got my Sega Game Gear for my 12th birthday, and I still remember it. I still have that same Game Gear to this day. I still have it, the same one from '92. I remember getting a Sega Master System for my name day, which it was my name day on December 6th. So for any Greeks watching that are religious, I'm not. But for any Greeks who are watching that are religious, it was my name day on December the 6th, which for Greeks in Greece, name days are like bigger than birthdays for some reason. I don't fucking know. So I got a Sega Master System from my grandmother for my name day. I remember coming home from school in primary school, and it was just set up all ready for me in my room. Because every time I used to go to my grandmother's every weekend. I used to sleep at my grandmother's because I basically grew up there and I love my grandmother. And
love
every
you
time
too,
we'd go for a
Nicky.
walk, we'd go for a walk. For anyone who knows Melbourne, we'd go for a walk on Bridge Road. And there was like an electronics place called Radio Rentals on Bridge Road back in the day. And every time we'd walk past, I'd see a Sega Master System set up in the window. And I used to be like, oh, Sega Master System. Because I was like a Sega kid growing up. So I was like, oh my God, look at the Master. And so my grandmother obviously took note. And then that year for my name day, I came home from school and there was this Sega Master System just set up in my room. And I was like, oh my God. I was like losing my shit. Jumped straight on. I was playing Hang On, Wonder Boy. Oh, it was amazing. But that wasn't Christmas. So I never got anything like that for Christmas. What else? When else did I get? I know my mum bought me a Saturn. And I was very grateful. I can't remember what the occasion was with my Saturn. I just know that it was $900 Australian back in like 1996 for a Sega Saturn.
Oof.
That's all I remember. It was so fucking expensive.
Mm-hmm.
And then after the Saturn, I was 16 years old. So I got my first job at 16. So after that, I started buying my own consoles.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember the story of the Mega Drive. Sadly, because I loved my Mega Drive.
Yeah, I think the main thing for myself and my brother, because he was 5 years older than me, was one Christmas we just got like more of the Sega Tower of Power because we had the full thing eventually. We had the Genesis, we had the Sega CD,
That would have been cool.
we had the 32X, all the originals, not the revisions, like the original ones. Boy, that would be worth a lot of money if we'd kept it. But we were also kind of poor,
yeah.
so we had to trade in to get the next thing. And there's one more question.
One more question. And that is from Good Old Colin. Last question. Hello, John, Nick, and Jesse. Subject, Sick and Nick's Flex. Got to do one of those before Christmas. So, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is out now / on Monday. However, if it was in the good old days, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle would be a movie. It'd be out in the US in the summer, in Australia open on Boxing Day, and in the UK mid-Jan or Feb. Of course, with the internet and streaming, this tradition is now dead and gone. Have you got any memories of going to the movies during the holidays? Holidays is in summer or school holidays, not Christmas. I actually remember going. One of my most vivid movie memories is actually seeing Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And that's only because what made it stick in my head was the fact that the movie opens with Indiana Jones learning Greek. So because it opened that way, I still remember going to see that and getting so excited and going, oh my God, look, he's talking Greek. And he's like, Ena, Dio, Trianis. I'm like, oh my God, he's counting Greek. So that movie sticks in my head so much because of that.
Oh yeah, we got one more question. I forgot it's on the form from Assassin. But the one for me would be the only I don't remember that many things from being a kid. The one from me would be my sister randomly taking me to Batman Returns. She was 7 years older than me, and we were very far apart, so it wasn't like we hung out a bunch. And she just on a whim drove me to the movies, and we saw Batman Returns, and both thought it sucked. It was a Val Kilmer one. It wasn't as bad as the next one. It wasn't any Batman and Robin where we're like, oh, man, the first one was great. The second one was okay.
No, Batman Returns wasn't Val Kilmer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it was Batman Forever. That might not have been the summer.
I was about to say, because Batman Returns was Keaton.
Yeah, which also I wasn't that huge a fan of. What day did that come out? Was that summer?
I kind of remember seeing Batman as well.
Yeah, that was also June. Batman Forever in June.
Even though me and my brother were 5 years apart, we weren't twins or anything. My mum dressed us both up the same. So we both had Batman jeans on and Batman t-shirts, and we were dressed exactly the same. And we went and saw the original Batman together in 1989. So I was 9 years old, and oh, wait, did my brother see the movie too? He would have only been 4. So I doubt he went and saw Batman. I don't know, maybe, because we saw all sorts of inappropriate movies at really young
Sounds like
ages.
Australia. Yeah, it was
we
Batman
were actually
Forever.
talking about it the other day. It was my goddaughter's birthday.
You actually talked to your brother again?
Yeah, sort of. We were at my brother's for my goddaughter's birthday the other day. And I happened to talk about the fact that I can't believe how many inappropriate movies I saw as a kid. And my dad just laughed because he was mostly responsible for that, because him and mum both used to work at video stores, like Blockbuster-style video stores, but smaller chains. So dad just used to bring videos home. So I just used to watch all sorts of shit I should not have been watching, like House. Does anyone remember that old campy horror movie called House from 1985? I saw that as like a 5 or a 6-year-old. And I'm like, the fuck? What was I doing watching that film at 5? That shit haunted my dreams for the longest time, that film. If you Google House 1985 on IMDb, that's how fucked up I am. I watched movies like that as a 5-year-old. It would explain so much about me, because I should not have been watching that movie. Alligator from 1980. I saw that as like a 4 or 5-year-old, where someone flushes a little baby alligator down the toilet. It's based on that rumor that there's alligators in the fucking sewers or whatever in whatever city it is. And that alligator grows up to be massive and eats people. And I saw that when I was like 5.
If it was realistic, after he eats someone, that would be it. He wouldn't eat for like another few months. Be a boring movie.
Right. See Your Brother, House was scary. It was. And I saw it when I was 5. And I'm like, I still remember that movie because of the nightmares it gave me. Like, seriously, man. Like, if you watch House now as a 40-something-year-old, I'd laugh at it. But I watched it as a 5-year-old.
I do want to see the new Nosferatu.
Fuck a kid up.
I like Robert Eggers' movies quite a bit. And that new Nosferatu looks real good.
Yeah.
One more question, which should be on the Google form.
Get onto that topic. Yes. Last question is from.
There was the other thing about the Game Awards that I was thinking.
We should have read this
when
one
I said
earlier.
there were multiple Game Awards, I forgot that's where the second one was.
Yeah. So this is from Assassin. That's what Assassin was. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, Assassin. Another year of leaks for the Game Awards. Not really a leak, but Andy Robinson expecting a big Game Awards and telling us to get in on the hype train has gotten me extremely curious. Usually leakers and or journalists like myself, gotcha Nick, JK, would usually tell us common folk to keep our expectations in check, but not this year it seems. I know everyone will be doing predictions next week on their shows and podcasts, but you guys are technically in line first. That being said, what do you think Andy's referring to? Is it a nothing burger? Will Hollow Knight Silksong finally emerge from the shadows? Could Take-Two surprise everyone with the new Bioshock? Finally, give me your best 3 answers to these questions. Announcement/game you guess absolutely will be there. Announcement/game you hope is there. Announcement/game you pray to the stars you wish was there but won't be. Chat is welcome to join in. Thanks for all you do. Fuck, why didn't we ask this when we were starting out?
All right, number one, I think we would both agree Borderlands 4. From how much it's just been openly talked about.
You guess absolutely, or South of Midnight.
Yeah. Borderlands 4, South of Midnight, hope. So no, Nick would really hope that the Gears collection would be there.
Yeah, I hope Gears collection is there. You pray to the stars you wish was there but won't be. Killer Instinct 2. Oh,
GTA 7.
Like I would give anything for Killer Instinct 2 to be there.
I think those are good answers.
Yeah.
What do you think,
even
Chad?
though what do you think? But yes, Killer Instinct is mine. South of Midnight will absolutely be there. I've been predicting that for a month. But yeah, Killer Instinct is mine that I hope / pray to the stars / whatever the hell you want to say. Man, I wish I forgot that because of the way the stupid form breaks it all up. I didn't realize that
it was all there under Game Awards.
that was there. And
It's all there on the showrunner under Game Awards. I did it for you, but you didn't pay attention.
fuck.
Yep, I blame you.
That's why I don't like hosting.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like John's great at it.
But that's it. That's the end of the show.
Oh, no.
So yeah, that was fun. Thanks everyone for joining us. Jesse, why don't you tell us what we've got coming up? Because I don't fucking know.
I'm working on a Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver 1 and 2 remastered review, which you do know. Though that's the main thing. I'm also working on playing a bunch of Marvel Rivals, trying to get that out. Chengiz has a bajillion things he's working on. Gyotzo's working on a few things. I might do The Thing remastered. I don't know. I'm a little burnt on Marvel Rivals and The Thing because I tried to get in on reviewing them. and we just weren't included in the early coverage, which makes covering them at all not nearly as lucrative. But we'll see. I don't know. I really want to play the thing remastered, and I have quite enjoyed Marvel Rivals. But outside of that, our big thing next week will be co-streaming the Game Awards. We'll be here live, myself and Ursel. If Nick can get away, I wouldn't expect it.
I'll try. I'll try, but I can't make any promises.
We'll see. It's there if you can. But yeah, thanks everyone. And we have a smaller guest next week. I think people are immediately throwing out huge names. I'm like, no, it was a smaller guest.
Oh, no. I mean, look, technically he's not a small. I think he's got nearly 100,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, but it's not. It's probably not someone a bunch of people know. But anyways,
I know that.
Are we doing?
I know that within our community, he's not super known. But he was the perfect
question
person.
for you.
What?
We still doing Grubs Missile?
Yeah,
okay,
he said
good.
we are. Last time we had him on, he said we are.
Okay, good. So I want to double check and make sure. You never know in this world.
I'll DM him, but he doesn't really respond to my DMs anymore, which I'm not overly happy with.
He's been very busy, and he probably won't respond to you at all this week because they are teaming with Jeff to do all the pre-show stuff with fandom. So he will not be around. He's going to be in LA traveling.
Oh, okay. Well, he said when we had him on that we're still doing Grubsmas. So as far as I know, and it's during the week. So that Christmas is during the week, which shouldn't affect us on the weekend, which is good.
Yeah. So that'll also be our end of year wrap up, and then the next week, I guess, going to do a prediction show. That'd be nice.
But this guest is cool.
It is not Jeff.
He knows his portable shit. He knows his portable shit inside out, which is why I would have liked to have had him on when there was rumors of talk of the Xbox portable, PlayStation portable. He would have been perfect to get on for that. But he is still very good to get on to talk about the potential Steam console if we do that next week.
Cool beans.
So I'll try and get him on. But like I said, I think 90-something thousand subscribers on YouTube. So he's fucking got a following. But he's a cool dude. We've known each other for quite some time. So yes, we'll try and get him on next week. I will push out that Smurfs review. So be on the lookout for that. It's like one of my longest reviews because I refuse to not fucking talk about that game after the hell it put me through. But yeah, aside from that, watch out for us on the Game Awards. Let's see how our predictions go. And we will talk to you all next week. Thanks, everyone. Ciao for now.
Torment off your fucking cross. We need the fucking space to nail the next full martyr. To ascend you must die. You must be crucified for our sins and our lives. Goodbye.
With the perfect hair and the perfect wife and the perfect kids and the perfect life, I will finally be somebody.
That's my born again American resistance is the game.
Two pigs wearing suits brought the news that I'm wanted by the bank. They say the rent is due, Caesar's on to you, so you better remember your place. Then they outsourced my job and gave a raise to my boss. Bailed out the banks but billed me for the loss. They say we must submit and be one with the machines, cause the kingdom of fear needs compliance to succeed. So wanna warn the kids for falling in slow rage and play born again. American resistance is the game. Smash the control machine. Work, buy, consume, die. Smash the control machine. Happy little slaves for minimum wage.
The revolution will be monetized and streamed live by a renegade Wi-Fi.
The clinic said I'm sick, toxic and impure, but there isn't any cure for the poor uninsured. So we live our digital lives on multiple screens, and we forget that the blood of the workers grease the machines. And the psalm of the fiends love discriminates, while the fat cats feed the rats their dose of daily cake. So waterboard the kids for fun, it's all the rage and play born again. American resistance is the game. Smash the control machine. Work, buy, consume, die. Smash the control machine. Happy little slaves for minimum wage. Smash the control machine. Work, buy, consume, die. Smash the control machine. Haters, betrayers, liars, and thieves.
She sold her soul for designer clothes, for the perfect lips and the perfect nose. The winner in the end always owns the most. Reality TV told us so. Money changer, greedy banker, this is the people's house. My minister has a sinister plan to save my soul with a credit card scam. Exploitation is contagious for the selfish and self-inflated. Start a war, use the poor, watch a can I forget you? But there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. You'll always be a part of me. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. If you should find you miss the sweet and tender love we used to share, just go back to the places where we used to go, and I'll be there. Oh, how can I forget you when there's always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. I was born to love you, and I will never be free. When there is always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Always something there to remind me. Feelings you see are so hard to believe. All the chaos I have in my heart. Devils I make and the love can't relate. All the solace inside tears me up. Take me away, set me on fire. There's no other way. Give me a reason, 'cause I got nothing to gain. So what are we doing now? Feeling complacent, I cannot be contained. I'm so lost and lonely now. Weaving deceits is so easy for me, 'cause the loathing I've had from the start. Evil disease, all the hatred it breeds, as I'm down on my knees, torn apart. Take me away, set me on fire. There's no other way. See Corn Live.
Get tickets as low as 130 tar. You might also like Paranoid and Aroused, Corn, Down Bad, Taylor Swift, The Alchemy, Taylor Swift.
Give me a reason, 'cause I got nothing to gain. So what are we doing now? Feeling complacent, I cannot be contained. I'm so lost and lonely now. Where do I run? Where do I hide? Give me a reason to end my life. Where do I run? Where do I love you till the very end. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh, Mario, Luigi, and a Donkey Kong too. 1,000 troops of Koopas couldn't keep me from you. Princess Peach, at the end of the line, I'll make you mine. Oh, oh. Peaches, 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 peaches. I love you. Oh. Peaches, peaches, peach, peach, peach. Peach, peaches, peach. What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into